down a few more. If he has time, fires one at 20. Targets it all. Inside the 15.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? We got another edition of the Crypto Show when we come back after this message.
Everybody.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Finn's Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Finn's Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
And don't forget our people at Dubby Energy Drink. You got a scoop to your glass of water. You have energy, focus, will none of the crash. We have my man Chef Jew. It's the holiday season, and if you need somebody to cater your party or event,
Yes, sir.
holla at my man Chef Jew, man. Make ingredients from scratch. Great cooking. He does Chinese food, soul food, Southern food, you name it. A real chef here. And then, of course, we have El Capitan. Don't forget, he's now doing the Patreon. He will be doing the film study, which this is going to be a good film study to cover, especially this game. Complementary offense and defense. Yeah, Cullen Ali doing broken takes and top of the tailgate. You got myself with Lewis and Crypto doing the Smoke Lounge and Drive Time. And Tonk TMI Tuesday is in the building. KP with his fantasy talks, football talk, whatever. Fantasy talks. That's a different show altogether. And don't forget Insomnia with myself and this man right here.
You cut off, Shake. Can you hear me, Shake? I think Shake Bunny was cut off.
Shake has left the building, Crypto. He's just like, it's my man here, and he left and went to go find him, I guess.
Yeah, right. He was just about to say, the currency connection with Insomnia. You guys can tune in for that at about 3 a.m. in the morning Eastern time, or it'll be about 9 Greenwich Mean Time, whichever time you want, or 8 o'clock Zulu time. There you go. I gave you the appropriate time zones. Zulu time, Greenwich Mean Time, which is could be Greenwich Mean. If it wasn't daylight savings, then it becomes Greenwich Mean Time. And then you got Eastern Time for the show. Dubby energy drinks. Make sure you catch up on the latest flavor. Shake Money mentioned about the creamsicle, if I'm correct, is a one of the favorites. The creamsicle one. I have to try that one
Mhm.
out. Yeah, the
Yeah,
orange
it's a
kind of
good one.
tastes like the orange creamsicle lollipop flavor. So it's pretty good. Not bad. Good deal. How's it going, everybody? You know, those in chat, John Featherland, Chef Jew, Dolphinier, Joe Riss, a regular, Daniel Berry Sports, welcome. We got what I was going to say. What do you get when you mix a skeleton with dirt and water?
The end of Deja Vu.
No, I was commenting on one Mudbone. That's what you get when you mix a skeleton with dirt and water. You get Mudbone. Welcome, Mudbone. And none other than the latest in men's wear. We got Duke Tomlinson, the greatest, always checking in on us. Dolphins thirsty. Hopefully that that thirst can be quenched now that we've gotten our first December win out of the way, and we got this momentum. We got to stay in the driver's seat, and that's the main of the show. Staying in the driver's seat, fellas. That's what it's all about now. We are now 1-0. I'm not counting anything before December 1st. We're now 1-0. That's how we have to look at this the rest of the season going forward. Forget about the first 11 games. Not that they're not important, but this is what's important. You know, that's what the last 3 weeks of shows was all about, leading up to now, December. So we are now 1-0. We had a good complete game from the offense, defense, and special teams. You know, not a bad outing. I was actually at the game. I was sitting in the 100 level, right in the end zone, the left corner end zone. And guess what happened to me, Color? On the very last play on that fourth down, my camera went out. I recorded the first three
Oh,
downs of that series inside the 5 yard line, and lo and behold, my camera went out.
uh,
I
brutal.
didn't get a chance to see A-Chain run it right in my direction. It was basically like he was coming to hand me the ball. He was coming straight at me, and I was mad because I didn't get it on film. I was like, "Oh no, golden opportunity!" But I did record the Waddle, not the Waddle, but the Tyreek Hill coming into my end zone. It was on the other side, but still the same end zone, but adjacent to where I was sitting. So that was nice and good view. I got some good footage of everybody on the sideline because I was on the Dolphin sideline, so I got a chance to get some good footage. So it was fun. And I got some special footage from Leon Eichenberg for Batman. So Batman, if you're listening, your Leon Eichenberg footage is on the way. So stay tuned. Marino's Goat. Welcome, Marino's Goat. Flavor J. And I think we got you, John Featherland. Welcome. And everybody else, if I missed you, welcome aboard. Let's see if I got anything else. Dolphinier. We appreciate you guys coming by. The last week's topic was basically, you know, now the season begins. Now that the season's already started, I'm counting December 1st, December 2nd, December 4th, 3rd officially as the first weekend of football because this is the stretch run. Now we have to start playing playoff football. We might not be facing playoff teams every week, but we still have to play playoff football. And we did that in the nation's capital here in Washington, D.C. So even though Washington is not a playoff team, but we still play playoff football as if we were in the playoffs game one. And that's why we have to treat every game going on. Next Monday night's game, it's a playoff game. I don't care who our opponent is. We're playing the Titans. Guess what? It's week 2 of the playoffs. That's how we have to psychologically look at it as fans. Because we have to play as if we're going to be eliminated this week. That's how we keep sharp. If we can keep that mindset going forward, we'll be okay. We have to play every game going forward as if it's an elimination game, regardless of who the opponent is. So that's the task that's at hand. We know that the Titans aren't as good as they were last year prior to all the injuries and everything. We know that. We will be going into the Jets game at home. We have to treat that the same. They play pretty, good defense. They forced us into 3 mistakes, 3 turnovers. We still have to look at that as a playoff game. The following game we know against the Cowgirls, we definitely have to look at that as a playoff team because that could potentially be our team who we play in the Super Bowl. So we ain't got no other choice but to treat that like a playoff game on Christmas Day, because that technically could be our opponent that we may see in February. The following week, we have to treat the Ravens like a playoff game because we could potentially see them in the AFC divisionals or the AFC championship game, either in our building or in Baltimore. So we got to treat that one. And of course, we all know that the Bills are pretty much on their last leg. If they was to hypothetically run the table up into our game, we have to treat that like a playoff game because that could be a potential playoff opponent. You know what I'm saying? So every game, I just gave you a scenario in which we have to treat it like a playoff game going forward. Every single game, these next 5 games, is a playoff game for the Miami Dolphins because last December, we didn't treat it like a playoff game. And we all know what happened in this month because we wasn't treating it like a playoff game. We weren't playing do or die. So that's the task going forward. We're now in first place for at least another, hopefully 5 hours, because if Jacksonville lose, we're in first place by ourselves. So if Jacksonville win, we slide to the 3 seed. But either way it go, we can go no lower than 3 after tonight's game. So that's what we're facing. Oh, welcome back, Shake Money.
By the way, I got that. I got that footage ready to queue it up if you want to show it. If you want to see people to see it. So it's sideline footage. It's not game footage. This is
not game footage. Just sideline footage. So if Batman, if you're in the audience, make sure you get your number 2 pencil out, Batman, because here comes the footage all queued up for you. Just get your pencil out, Batman. Get your number 2 pencil out. Here we go.
Oh, put another 30 on the board. We have an Eichenberg.
There you go, Batman. Eichenberg at his greatest form, coaching your lineman on the sideline to give an epic performance. There you go.
That's how close you were, huh?
Yeah, I was right there. I was just telling Color, I was right in the end zone on the first 3 plays of the last drive, and the freaking camera went out on the 4th down, and freaking McDaniel called a pitch play to the left, and the guy was coming right at me as if he was going to hand me the ball after he scored. I was like, oh, damn it. Okay, Mudbone made a slight correction, either first or second seed after tonight's game, because we own the head-to-head over Baltimore for the conference so far. So, no, Lord, 1 or 2 after tonight's game, and we have to either stay in the driver's seat or try to get into that driver's seat. That's the objective of for this weekend. Yep. Welcome, Adam. Anthony Manzano. Yo, 72 undefeated. Joe Riss. Oh, you said your computer was unplugged. Shape.
Yes, sir.
No, you said your computer was unplugged.
Yeah, my computer. Yeah, freaking the dogs. My dogs or like to play around the plug, whatever, and they unplug it from time to time.
Okay, cool.
And what sucked was the fact that when I plugged it in, and now it wanted to it chose now to update it to update. It wanted to check the updates.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, we didn't see the Jets press conference. I really wasn't paying attention to a lot of stuff other than the main games that was affecting us. And I was looking at a lot of stuff around the league, but I didn't pay attention nobody press conference, letting alone the Jets press conference. So no, Joe Risk, I missed that one. I'm gonna have to be you're gonna catch us up on that one because I didn't even look at our own, be honest with you, because I was at the game, so I didn't even look at our own press conferences because I was at the game. And there's Lewis. What's up, Lou? Welcome aboard, Lou. We're talking about trying to stay in the driver's seat. Our only objective this week was to play like we play playoff football. You know what I'm saying? Every game from this day on is a playoff game going forward. Next game, the game following that, and the following 3. And we got to stay in the driver's seat. And if Jacksonville win, we have to try to catch them so we can get in the driver's seat. OG Barry, what's up? Fins up. I tell y'all what, it was something else. Like that was my first time at FedEx Field. You know, I was always making plans to go to that stadium and watch a football game, and I was so reluctant this year. You know, not reluctant, but it was good to go see your favorite football team play in your hometown stadium as an away game for your hometown for your favorite team, and to play complete football. It was nice to see to play great defense, great offense, just good enough offense. When Tyreek scored that 78-yard touchdown, I looked at some of the Redskins fans and said, "This one's in the refrigerator and the Jello is jiggling." I said that may be that may have clinched it because I didn't see no resistance at that point, and I was pretty much calling it right then and there on that touchdown pass. I was like, "This one's in the refrigerator. Jello is jiggling, fellas. This is about wrapped up." And lo and behold, pretty much was wrapped up at that point, especially when Van Ginkel stopped any little bit of momentum that they may have had with that pick 6. Because they were starting to move the ball slightly a little bit, and then Van Ginkel nullified it. So that was it. It was in the refrigerator after that Tyreek Hill's touchdown. Let me see. New Finland, what's up? Seemed like there was a lot of aqua in the stadium. Yes, it was. I was in section 106. You right? Seat 4, which was just four rows up from the actual field.
Hey.
Yeah, it was a lot of aqua in the stadium. The Commanders did what our fans did last year in the Vikings game, where we sold a lot of our tickets to Viking fans, and it was nothing but purple in the stadium. It was the opposite this time around. It was the Commanders fans selling our fans a lot of tickets, and we filled up the lower bowl. Now, most of the Commanders fans was in the upper bowl, but we filled pretty much a good chunk of the lower bowl. I would say more than 30%. If not, it could have been a higher percent of the lower bowl, at least all the 100 level. The upper level was all Commander fans, but it was still sprinkled Dolphin fans in there. I would say the total capacity was probably almost 50-50. It was in the 40s, I would say, at least what I can see. Because it wasn't really sold out, so I was able to get some good seats on the lower bowl. So yeah, it was not bad. SBC carries 50% offense, and people think Tua is MVP. No, it's neck and neck. 72. Since it's pretty much a quarterback award, it'll be mostly quarterbacks, maybe one defensive player, and Tyreek in the running for that award. If Tua doesn't get it, it's because Tyreek took it from him. And if Tua doesn't get it, it's because another quarterback like Brock Purdy or Hurts or even Allen, if he come back and make a run to close these next 5 games, that'll get it. So it's primarily unfairly a quarterback-centric award where other skill positions don't get it unless they have extraordinary seasons. The one big case for Tyreek is because he's doing something that no wide receiver in NFL history did. Tua and all the other quarterbacks that's vying for the award is doing something other quarterbacks did do. That's the difference. That's what gives Tyreek an edge, because Tyreek is doing something no receiver at his position has ever done. While the same numbers that these quarterbacks now is putting up, other quarterbacks in the past have put it up without other skill positions doing what they're doing at their given position. That's why Tyreek has an edge. Let's see, CCRR. Of course, CCRR comes in and says Tua has 0 chance. Now, CCRR, you know me, CCRR. I'm a guy all about the percentages. And I've always said mathematically it's impossible for anybody to be assigned 0% or 100%. It falls somewhere in between. So you cannot say that Tua has a 0% chance. You have to start at least 1% to 99%. That's how it works. So you know me, CCRR. You got to be fair. Even if you said Tua has a 0.5%, that will be a fair mathematical statement, because no one ever is at 0 or 100. Ain't that right, Shake Money?
I concur.
No, I'm just telling. I'm just trying to keep these guys mathematically honest. and look what 72 undefeated did. He put 1%.
Hey, at least he's being honest.
Okay, he's all right. He's all right. I got you. Oh man,
I'll be back.
All right, cool. He said, CCR said, crypto, according to the numbers, I have the exact same chance of winning MVP. You will only be 0% because you're not participating in the sport. That's different. But anybody's participating in the sport at a skilled position that's playing well is above 0%. Now I said keyword playing well enough to be in contention. Keyword. Key phrase, my bad. So CCR, me and you are both sitting at 0%. Because guess what? We're not NFL players. You see what I'm saying? And if we were NFL players, we would have to be playing at a good enough level to have the consideration of the journalists and the voters. Now, since Tua and Tyreek is playing well.
See, I disagree there, Crypto. I think the Dolphins fans are at least 20% to blame for that Vikings loss last year.
For the Viking loss? Yeah, we sold a lot of tickets. Like the Commanders sold me. They didn't sell me my ticket, but they sold a lot of people in the parking lot on the street tickets. So the Vikings, so the Dolphins fans, you said 20% gave up their seats.
No, I'm saying the Dolphin fans are 20% responsible for the loss.
Oh, you're saying the fans themselves are 20 now? What
Yeah,
would
you
be their
said we can't be. You said we're 0% because we're not players, and I said I had to pop in and say no. I disagree with that because the Vikings game we were at least 20% responsible. You know,
Oh,
not
okay.
showing up.
But not showing up to get us. Okay. Well, I guess technically you could kind of say there's an influential part of I guess participating by not participating. You can say that. we participated as fans by not participating, meaning we participated in the loss, to your point, by not participating in the game. So we participated by not participating. that's how we did it, right? Notorious JP. Oh, okay. Well, I ain't seen you around, man. You're right. Jordan Love is playing well. Now the Miami Heat keeps the #1 seed in the AFC. Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing what Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers is actually doing in that town. So there looks like their last 3 quarterback selections have been a hit for them. You know, all spread by what, 20 years apart or something like that, or at least 15 years apart from each other. Man, lucky for their GM, huh? Let's see. He says CCR has 2% TVH. Yeah, yeah, it's been a minute. JP, it's been a minute. I haven't heard your voice in a while on the spaces or in around the YouTube parts. Nice seeing you, man. I've been hearing from you, man. By the way, my Cubbies had to take the year off, had to make everybody in the rest of the league feel well about themselves. So we'll be back. We'll be back. So stay tuned. My Cubbies will be back. Let me see. July 4th, got to stop back on the regular. Yeah. Okay. Oh. 10 horse on the Vegas Strip. Yeah. That's cool. Those 10 whores on the Vegas Strip, man. Do they have they gotten any work, JP? Yeah, Craig Consul. Yeah, see the thing is, Otani, you see, Consul, that was when we got him, right? When we hired him, I was like, there's gonna be some good infield coaching because of that. I mean, our infields, I imagine, should be amongst the top of the league, man. Now that we got him at the helm, we're gonna be good, man. That was a good pickup. Consul was good, and Otani was a pretty good pickup. I'm excited, man. I'm looking at somewhere north of 140 wins. You think maybe 140 wins, JP, something like that? I don't know. Maybe my numbers may be off just to buy a game or two. I'm looking at about 140 wins. Maybe off plus or minus maybe 5, something like that. Nico and then Sandy Swanson. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. No, Joe Rez, he's we talking to baseball. 162-0. That's what I'm talking about. 162-0. That's more like it. There go Lewis. What's up, man?
What's good, Crypto? What's good, fellas?
Nothing, chilling out, setting the record straight on all of our expectations moving forward. You know, the season's just started. I don't count the first 11 games. That was just the preseason. Now the season really starts. We're 1-0, man. How do you feel about being 1-0?
Nah, crypto. I leave all those crazy scenarios to you. We're 9-3. I don't know about 1-0.
Okay, fair enough. Because I've seen too many 9-3s in my life. That's why I'm counting. I'm counting every game from this day forward, moving forward, as our official record.
Mm. What do you? So what were your thoughts then? If we're 1-0 in your mind, I mean, I get what you're doing. I do understand. I get it. So what are your
Yeah.
thoughts after seeing a 1-0 football team live and in person on the road, maybe with some different elements with the with the weather and whatever? Like, what were your thoughts when you left the game? Like your initial thoughts of how the Dolphins look?
Oh, my initial thoughts was great. I thought it was going to be more colder, but it wasn't. Actually, it warmed up to close to 60 by game time. We got a nice little warm front. So it was a little fog at the beginning of the game that kind of cleared up after the first series that we had. So visibility was not a problem. So we was able to say, I thought it was literally going to be a fog bowl because like during the tailgate, it was nothing but fog. I couldn't even see the stadium from the parking lot where we was tailgating at. It was that much fog. It was the visibility went to crap. And the guy looked at me, he's like, damn, can you even see the stadium? What stadium at? I was like, it must be somewhere in that direction. It was bad. I was like, shit, we about to have a fog bowl. And then next thing you know, man, it cleared up. Because I thought it was gonna be we was gonna really have an issue passing the football. Because hell, you can't freaking see the receivers. How the hell you gonna throw a bunch of 2-yard passes? So I was like, shit, we about to run the ball 40 times today. They say it looked like it's gonna be a number running because of the fog. And then it cleared up. Because I even tweeted it at the beginning of the game. Not tweeted, but I put in the chat on the stream that Capitan and was doing. I had chimed in and I said the fog is rolling in. And then it had cleared up. So the weather wasn't a problem. And then, as our performance on offense got out to a good start, the 78-yard touchdown, I pretty much called the game right then and there. I said it was in the refrigerator because the Commanders had no resistance. And then the defense followed it up with the Van Ginkel pick six, and I was like, "Yep, I was right.
Good.
It was in the bag."
Yeah. Shout out to
So-
JP. I see JP say once a month he works in Tampa. Hit me up, JP, just through DMs or whatever. Let me know when you're down here, bro. But I'm sorry, Crypto. Go ahead. I seen that. So
Yeah, JP's back in the building. Yeah, I had fun. I was sitting in the end zone. We ran Tyreek had his second touchdown and our last drive, our second half direction. And I got 3 of the 4 downs, the last four downs on tape. My camera went out on the last down, on 4th down. And I was like, what a bitch, And it find times for my battery of camera to go dead on me, and I couldn't get it back up in time because I was putting it on a charger. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna miss the touchdown and lo and behold, freaking A-Chain ran the ball straight at me. Right at me. And I was like, God damn it, I missed the freaking touchdown.
You know what, Crypto? One thing I did want to say, right, and not to cut you off with your great stories because you were in the building. I want to keep hearing them. But one thing I thought about, right, and I was guilty of it yesterday too. We talked about the Waddle drop, right? Remember the one that hit him right in the hands that he actually kicked up in the air.
Yeah.
We brought it up and we talked about that yesterday, right? But you know what goes, and I've been one of the ones. There's been pretty much everybody on TFTG has said it, and there's a lot of other people in the community that have said it. And I think it goes lost because all we do is talk about the Waddle drop, which at the end of the day, I would say is the most important thing, right? But you know what we got out of that play? One thing that everybody says they want to see Tua do, or people that say Tua can't do those things. Tua wasn't in the pocket, everything perfect, throw the ball on routine, right? That was one of those off-scripted plays. there was some pressure or he felt some pressure, he was rolling out. He
he had
avoided
moved
the
around a
pressure.
little bit. Yeah, he
He
showed the
made
mobility there.
and it gave Waddle the opportunity to cut off his route, sit somewhere in a soft zone. And bro, that again, that goes without notice, right? Like we only brought up, well, Waddle dropped the pass. And again, we should, but that's one thing right there that when people say, well, Tua has to be better off script, and me included, and there's certain people that say that he just can't do it. That was a good illustration of Tua extending a play to make a play happen. Am I wrong with that assessment, Crypto? Like you being in the building, did you see any of that? Like what I'm saying, or am I just blowing smoke up Tua's ass?
Well, the one I noticed, it was an incompletion. I think it was a Waddle. I remember him sidestepping one where maybe it was another Waddle drop. Maybe he dropped more than that one. That Will wide open when he dropped. I think it was one where he eluded one guy, like sidestepped him, went around the guy. The guy was rushing, and he had him dead to rights, and he maneuvered around him and threw it. And I was like, that was a huge play that he did that I noticed. That one actually was at me too. That was in the same end zone I was sitting in. He threw it, and I was like, oh shit. You know, that was a nice little play he did right down there. So he showed his mobility, his ability to go off script at that moment, you know. So that's something I noticed too, being right there personal, you know, right there on the basically on the sidelines, you know, because I was on the Dolphin sideline. But in the end zone, but on the Dolphin sideline. So it was nice to see that Tua, despite his receivers not, you know, stepping up at that time, able to at least give his receivers a chance, you know, versus if he sat in the pocket, he would have got killed. If he'd stayed in the pocket, he would have been killed. But by him making that little slight evasive move and throwing it the way he did, like I said, Lewis, it was reminiscent of that jet throw to Matt Collins. A lot of people forget about that. He did some similar plays, even though he didn't do it as often. He did that in that game. He did it in the Kansas City game in year one, but he's just doing it a little bit more consistent this year than he did those years. A lot of people like he didn't do it at all. And I recorded the times he did do it. He did know sparingly in his first 2 years. But he already showed the ability. He put it on tape that the ability is there. It's just a matter of, you know, doing it consistently and doing it at will when he need to do it. You know, because Mike McDaniel is not going to design plays to do that. It's just going to have to be him improvising. And when the play break down outside of what McDaniel
I think Lewis just figured out why P ain't been around.
He said, you said figured out why who ain't been around? Wait a minute, what you say, Color?
Pete.
Oh, Pete. Oh, I haven't seen him yet in the last 24 hours. He'll be around.
According to Pete, Tua can't do all that.
Yeah. Well, that's not the only reason. That's not the only thing Pete said Tua can't do, Color. I mean, he has his own laundry list, but that's just one of them. Yeah.
And the only reason I brought that up, Color, because remember, and again, we should be overly critical of Waddle because it's 3 years now, and we see him routinely dropping passes. But again, when I went back and I watched the game again, and just on that pass, it's an extension of the play. That's not the actual play design, right? Even as wide open as Waddle was, it wasn't designed that way. Tua actually escaped the pocket, extended the play. But
gave Waddle the time.
We didn't talk about that. We just talked about the drop. So I thought it would be good to kind of illustrate.
I pointed that out in CB's chat last night. You know, I mean, maybe I was being a little hyperbolic, but I really thought that, you know, when you talk about what we are expecting, you know, what you get out of the guys that can extend a play, you know, make moves to, you know, buy themselves more time, find a third or fourth guy open. I thought yesterday we saw. I think Tua has to me, that was his best performance I've seen in his entire career. Like, you could say, well, yeah, the defense was bad. No, they were getting home. Their D linemen were getting home. And I mean, it was just all day. Like, you couldn't touch him like he was a ghost. You know, even culminating with one, you know, pretty decent strike across the middle of the field.
As a matter of fact,
he's not
whenever
looking
me and Ali were making
catching.
Matador references.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, Shake, excellent point there. I mean, Two-Ador. What we call him, Two-Ador now? The Two-Ador?
Hey, JP, Larry has since retired his YouTube channel. If that's the Larry you're talking about, Larry L. So, yeah, he's no longer doing the YouTube channel no more. At the moment, he's officially retired from his YouTube channel. If you're talking about Larry L. Let's see. It's always in missing in action with nothing new here. Who you talking about? Mission in action, Waddle? Oh, you talking about Pete?
They're talking about Pete.
Missing now. Yeah, he's missing in action. Yeah, he'll come around with a new theme for next week's game. So buckle up. So, he'll have another theme for next week's game. So we've seen it for 13 weeks running. So we shouldn't be surprised. We can almost write the script for Pete and hand it to him, and he'll perform it well, like it's some rehearsed skit. You know, we can literally sit there and write up the script for what Pete is going to say about next week's game to the T.
Don't be sleeping on. Don't sleep on Will Levis.
Yeah, right. That's one of them. So yeah, it's given.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the script. Let me tell you something, guys. What really has me concerned, Will has a strong arm.
Right.
He has command of this offense. He runs a pro-style system in Tennessee. Man,
He's got Derrick Henry, folks.
He's got Derrick Henry to balance out his approach. He's got DJ Hopkins, you know, as his weapon. You know the drill.
Mike Vrabel is definitely a better head coach than Mike McDaniel. He's, been there, done that.
He has the edge over Tua because he did it before. He'll bring back the 2 years ago game. I'm sure that's definitely in his back pocket.
Will Levis reminds me of Skylar Thompson when I look at him. Just a guy that can do everything.
Right, or he'll come up with another quarterback like he used Fitzpatrick for the Sam Howell comparison. So he'll come up with somebody that's heartless or fearless or something. It'll be some quarterback.
What have you guys heard that Wednesday the Miami Dolphins are going to be trying out Reuben Foster?
Oh, finally they're gonna give somebody a job who couldn't interview well, or what was that? That's the same guy, right? They were saying that was real bad in the spaces in the interview.
Well,
he hosted a space and couldn't answer a question.
Well,
that
Crypto,
guy.
I wasn't gonna say that, Crypto, but goddamn.
I don't know.
You mean the dumb one? You mean the dumb one? God, say it, guys. Jeez.
I'm trying to be politically correct. I'm trying to.
So what? Besides that, Crypto and Color, what are your thoughts on that?
Wow.
What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, oh man, oh god, we're gonna have to be a lot of humble pie if we end up inking them in. Got to be on our roster. It's gonna be a lot of crow eating. But I don't know. He might be that guy Isaiah. What's the guy who was a rapper and tried to as a lineman, and then he got in trouble again after we signed him. You know what I'm talking about? He's like supposed to have a rap career. He was a lineman. What's his name? I forget his name. Isaiah
they got
something.
the
Yeah,
yeah
he
Isaiah
was like a
something. We got
rapper.
the guy we got from Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah.
I don't know
Maybe he
what.
might turn out like that.
Listen, I don't
What's
know
up,
how I feel
Nene?
about the. I don't know how I feel about the Reuben Foster move. To be honest with you,
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna
Be honest with you, I'm saying I'm reserved on that one.
I'm gonna
I
reserve.
mean, I
Yeah,
guess he couldn't hurt us. You know what I mean? I guess. I
Hmm. Maybe
mean,
as
yeah.
depth.
I don't know though, man. The
is he
way
the Robbie Chosen of linebackers?
That's what I'm
and
saying.
that's a
He's
good
pioneered on
point.
that, or the Schwartz, or the Anthony Schwartz of linebackers.
But when Duke Riley, I didn't see nothing out of Duke Riley yesterday that got me concerned. I thought he played well from the
Yeah,
jump as
he's
soon as we
never
got
really
in.
been a huge drop off, bro, from
No,
Baker. I mean,
no, he wasn't. And you want to know what? I look when I was sitting in the stands on that last drive, well, at least the touchdown drive that the Commanders had. I thought it was the right time to pull Jalen Ramsey because he was tired. He was walking around with his hands on his hips and bending over. And I was like, well, damn, you gonna take him out the game? And it's like, and then now and behold, freaking our bust loose for a touchdown on his side of the field. And I was like, you should have took the man out of the game. We had a chance to stop him there because he was clearly tired and just walking around like, please get me out, coach, get me out. And he kept him in the game. I was like, we got a 23-point lead. Why is he in the game? Take him out if he's tired. At least give him a breather if you still want to play to the end. And then lo and behold, that's when they scored that touchdown. I was like, the man in the secondary, like 3 people was tired walking around with their hands on their hip. It was tired because Washington had a long drive, and I was like, okay, give me a breather here. But yeah, Ramsey was tired on that game, and that all of them was spent. And I was like, it's time to take Tua out. It's time to put your second and third stringers in there. You got a comfortable enough lead. Now it's time to be wise with your personnel. And then the very next possession, after Washington scored, Mike White was snapping the ball, handing it off. I was like, see, I told you. That's when you be wise with your players and don't be stupid about it. You know, the game was already in the bag. Game was in the bag on the 79-yard touchdown by definition. But, you had to play it out at least to 3 quarters. Hey, Nene. No, my bad. It was JP was talking about it's a done deal. I don't know if it's a done deal. No, eccentric, know me. What's up, Fred? Let's see. Yeah, Fred has joined us. Scrappy, yeah, Scrappy's in there. But yeah, I'm glad that the personnel was handled well throughout the game, except on the few plays in that fourth quarter. But he got out ahead of it and started resting some players and subbing them out. Let me see. Our fan base is once we hear a name, as Lewis says, bring him home. Yeah, Nene, that's the way we are. Bring him home. That's the slogan. Every time we hear a name, Reuben Foster, bring him home. Wait a minute. Hold on. We didn't do it right, Nene. Reuben Foster, he had an uncle that went to school in Dade County, and his mistress secretary was the used to clerk for the city councilman. And what else? His stepmom also used to work in the mayor's office. So we got to bring him home. That's it. That's it. And also he had a cousin that used to work for Royce Management who was under the tutelage of the owner Stephen Ross. So we got to bring him home. We got to get it right. we got to make our connections, Nene. When we say bring him home, We got to make all the connections from the city councilman to the governor to the mayor to the all the legislators in the state of Florida, the ex-senators, as well as Stephen Ross. We got to make all those connections. Then we have to say, bring them home. That's how we bring them home. Because there's some family lineages between any player with a big name to the city of Miami. That's how we do it, Nene. That's how we bring them home. Remember, your owner was also in charge of waste management. So he was not only the FOO, he was his chief financial officer to his cousin's brother, stepsister removed. That's how we do it. Hey, what's up, G? You see how Isaiah Ford would be brought back for the playoffs. Bring him home, right? Isaiah Ford, yeah, he was already on the team, so we'll bring him back for the playoffs. Hell, we could bring him back for next Monday night's game. But I don't think Tyreek Waddle will sit down. Bring him home, Dalvin Cook. He knows he made a bad decision. No, that ship is sailed. That's not happening.
Not only has it sailed, but it sank and it's in the bottom of the ocean.
Right, exactly. It's in the bottom of the ocean. Oh man, Dalvin
right
Cook,
next to the Titanic.
He's uprooted himself from Miami-Dade County and anything associated with the Sunshine State. So his ties are in the Northeast.
Listen, the only way you're bringing home Dalvin Cook home is for Christmas. That's it. When they get their Christmas break, I don't think not even. I think they play Christmas Eve. So yeah, can't even do that.
Yep. What's the grab bag, gift bag?
Mm-hmm.
He'll have.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. We're gonna bring Dalvin Cook home in a couple of weeks when the Jets come to Hard Rock. Does that count?
I guess you say because it'll be towards the night before Christmas.
So yeah, you're right. We are gonna bring Dalvin Cook home in a couple of weeks.
Yep. See, it'd be like towards the nights before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was staring.
Yeah. So.
And it was a mouse. So the stockings were hung by the chimney with care, but there were no hopes of Saint Nick because he wasn't there. See? Mm-hmm. There's no Saint Nick when it comes to Dalvin Cook, Nene. There's no Saint Nick. Duval, Jags Junkie. Welcome, Roach. Roach is now in the building. There's still room for you to rejoin the bandwagon, Roach. There's still enough room in because it's filling up fast.
Roach has a big game tonight, man, trying to maintain.
I'm giving you a chance, just like I've given everybody a chance to hop on the bandwagon 3 hours prior to the game when I'm at the tailgate when I see another fan. I give them 3 hours to denounce their team.
Jags Junkie. We love you guys.
Love you too, man. You guys, if you guys either be at first or second place after tonight's game, you know. So you guys got a big one. Some of it, Nene. We'll be on for part of it. We'll be on for some of it. So yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one for us. It's a big one for them. Even bigger for Cincinnati because if they lose, they're pretty much I'm not gonna say mathematically eliminated. They're psychologically and fundamentally eliminated. you know, but not mathematically eliminated. They're pretty much done.
Bengals,
Cincinnati.
Bengals.
They're toast. They only role in this game is to play spoiler and hope that the Jaguars not be eliminated from play, but to take them out of the 1 seed and to give Houston the division lead. Houston will go to number 4, I think, if the Jaguars win this game. The Jaguars will slip to 6, I think. They could be the 1 or as low as 6, I think. If I'm correct, no, that'll be their 4th loss, so they can't go to 6 because there's other teams with 5 losses. So I think they can go as low as 4. And if
it's official. Georgia is playing Florida State in the Orange Bowl.
Oh, it is official now.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia playing Florida State,
and
so
the
Florida State's the 4 seed.
No,
really?
They're the 5 and 6 seed.
6th playoff team. Is it 8 teams now?
No. It's only 4 teams.
Right. So they didn't make the playoffs?
No, they're playing for just a bowl.
So bowl. It's not an 8 teams no more.
No, it's gonna be next year. It's gonna be next year.
Then it'd be 8. Okay, they're going to 8 next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be damned. Florida State, like you said, they were hosed, but now they know what it feels like to be hosed by the BCS standing or the BS Championship Series. I don't like to call it the BCS. It's the BS Championship Series. That's what it is. It's the BS series. Man of the hour, welcome. So he said it'll be 12 teams next year.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned. I thought it'd be 8. So 12. So they expanded it a little bit more to give a lot of teams with 1 or 2 losses a shot at winning the national title.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So 2 losses won't just totally do you in.
That's crazy, man. Georgia went undefeated for all these years and freaking lose at the last minute and freaking
right. And get hosed. Or if you lose early in the season, start winning late, you rescue yourself. Or it could be vice versa. You lose late in the season and you go undefeated and lose that one late and it hurts you.
Mm-hmm. You know, they could have went 1 year without the SEC being in the freaking championship.
Yes, technically, yes, Fred. We should be rooting for the Bengals because that will take the Jags out of the first spot. If they lose, the Jags are the number 1 seed with the number 2 seed. The Ravens are 3, Chiefs are 4. Texans are 5, Browns are 6, and holy shit. No, the Bills. No.
In 2001, Miami, they did a pass interference and blamed the refs. We all know that.
Right. Right. We definitely did get screwed. Welcome, CB83. No, there's no crying. There's no crying. We're talking about we're in the driver's seat. And we have to maintain it. If the Jags lose, if the Jags win, we will be riding shotgun, hoping to take over the driver's seat. Jags win, we're shotgun. And
what do you mean fake
we
carrying
win, we're not.
What are you talking about, CB83? What are you talking about? We're fake carrying. What are you talking about? What is he talking about?
He's just gaslighting the fan base and the people in the chat.
I hear you.
That's CB83. He's CB82 at the moment. With that take, he's CB82 at this moment. He's been demoted by a point. You got to demerit.
There's narratives in the
chat. Oh, okay. Miami beat FSU, but FSU got to play for the national title. Exactly. That's always the case. And then what happened? Their field goal kicker missed the field goal wide right. So that was ball don't lie. There you go. I remember that. The moment that they screwed us out, their kicker misses a field goal wide right.
Well, listen, all I know is FSU was used to winning at Hard Rock Stadium. They play this team in Coral Gables, and they beat their ass all the time. So, what's that trash team that FSU beats all the time and Coral Gables? I can't remember.
No, they beat the team up in Gainesville, on a regular basis.
No, they beat
So,
that. Look, we hosted a trash team in Coral Gables.
I don't know what city you're talking about. I don't know what that is.
There's a trash college in Coral Gables. Can't remember what it's called. It has a cool orange, but at the same time it has that jet color green.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's orange and jet color green. I can't remember the team for the life of me.
It sounds like a team. Sounds like a dynasty.
The Miami Afternoon Drizzles.
That's that storm. It's that storm. The Canes, that hurricane. It sweeps away everybody in the state of Florida. It's got that wind force like no other. You get it? Wind force. Like no other.
I'm gonna keep the same energy, Nene. I'm definitely gonna keep the same energy.
No, Nene, he's not gonna keep it. I remember, Nene, I'm always up here to give him comfort on Saturdays when the Florida Iguanas, when they play football up there in Gainesville, I give them comfort. Those iguanas.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I can't wait.
Joe Risk on Rutgers. He said they're gonna piss on Rutgers. Damn. What's up, Jeremy? Cat for life.
Yeah, I tell you what, Nene, we root for the same team on Saturday, but not for the. Hey, FinStech, leave my iguanas alone with your semen holes, the Florida State semen holes, or the semi holes, either or. The semi holes love semen holes, either or.
Jesus. Oh, man.
And one thing for sure, we all root for the same team on Sunday. Thank God for that. Oh man.
He said I'm a hurricane, but you got holes. Which team got holes, Cap? Man, you guys are full
The semen holes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I always do that. King James. Okay, he done snuck in here. McD, B McD. Appreciate you coming by, Ron. Appreciate you coming by. But listen.
You want to drop off the link or no?
You can post it in the chat.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, we're gonna be here.
What I was gonna do? Yeah, about 8:30. When Lewis was up here, I was gonna say, because he's mentioned about 9-3 versus 1-0. I only use that for shortening the season because our 9-3 got us to where we're at now. But I want to know is what's going to get us our momentum going forward. We played good on offense, defense, special teams. And I felt good leaving the stadium because we have to treat every game like a playoff game from this day going forward. Because if we don't, we're going to slip up against a team that we should have beat. And we got to take every opponent serious, regardless of what it says in the standings.
Yeah.
Regardless of what this record is, we got to play them as if they are a playoff team, and it's a do or die situation. Because it's about sharpening what you do on the field for the big dance.
All right, we got our first guest. Welcome your fellow military, your fellow soldier, Nene. What's good, Nene?
Yep. Nah, I just didn't like all that shenanigans from you, Shake. You're a good Christian man. Don't speak like that about my Hurricanes.
Ooh, Hurricanes. Are you talking about the hockey team?
Get yourself together about that. But no, what you
Are
were
you talking about the hockey team, right? Are you talking about the hockey team?
Now, what you were replying to was no, I wasn't talking about the pass interference. I was talking about when we beat FSU and they still let FSU go to the national championship game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Crypto, I came up to ask you, how was it yesterday? Was it rainy and cold? How was it?
No, the weather took for a turn for the good because it was fog early in the day. I couldn't see the stadium, even from the parking lot. It was that bad, that much fog, and then it cleared up after the first, right before kickoff, when it started clearing up. I thought it was going to be a serious, low visibility, no visibility game. I was like, buckle up. We about to hand the ball off 40 to 50 times.
Nene.
There's no way our passing game would have worked in those conditions. But we did good because it cleared up.
What's good, Shake?
See the man, man of the hour. See this dude right here? He's family to me. He's the closest thing you could, you ever have a family member where they're just as good as blood?
Yep.
That's him right there. And y'all not gonna get along on any day of the week. He's a Cowboy, Seminole, and a Northwestern fan.
Oh Lord. Good Lord.
Northwestern, man, the trifecta, huh?
Jesus Christ. Every team I hate with everything in me. Jesus.
That's what we do. That's what. Hold on, hey, that's what we do though. We got it. You said it best. Every team you hate, everybody love to hate us.
Well, let me just put this.
What? Let you say what?
I am from Miami Central Senior High School, so you got to remember we've been owning you for the last decade. So
last decade, and we owned you for how many decades?
Well, we had the band.
Okay, then.
We had the band. We had something.
Hold on. How old? Can I ask you how old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay, then. So throughout the 90s, we whooped y'all ass like it ain't nothing.
Well, no, y'all cheated. So my junior year,
cheated.
My junior year.
Hey, Shake. And now we were the losers on that end. Could I have gotten away by saying, "Oh, y'all cheated"? Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
I wouldn't have gotten away with that if the tables was reversed.
Oh, trust me. We're in the same boat. I'm a Carroll City, Gator, Dolphin. Trust me. Me and him were not friends because of sports.
Mm-hmm.
What about basketball, Lord?
Right.
Who you like in basketball?
I'm Dade County.
Like. Oh well, you
don't go outside my city.
Well,
yeah, she
okay.
Like
well, Lakers.
The Miami Heat.
Oh. So what was the answer? I didn't
get Lakers. He's a Laker fan.
I'm a Lakers.
Good Lord.
Hey,
it just get worse and worse with this guy.
Stop it.
Lakers and Dolphins.
Hey, listen. I knew him before puberty, so you know what I'm saying. We didn't like sports before I knew him. So,
right.
The only sport we were watching was WWF.
Lakers. What?
Hold on. Hey, the only sport we were watching Hold on. The only sports me and him was watching was WWF and WCW.
That's it.
That's all we would watch back in the days.
Well, I'm 45, Nene. I know. I met him when we were I was about 12 years old.
Okay.
So this guy, he's
back in the old WWE days.
Huh?
So Crypto, the West losing, the Lakers losing, the Cowboys losing. You just got some hard times.
I mean, we're not going to talk about how much hard times you went through your life.
No. So here's let me just give you some. Let me give you some criteria.
Talk about that. You don't want to talk about.
Let me give you some criteria. First of all, the Central. You already know about. I don't even need to tell you what Central has done in the last 10 years. You already know that personally.
Well, then you got to start. Hold on. Wait. Just like I said a few months ago on this same panel, y'all started out using the West talent. You don't want to talk about that? We're not talking about that?
Lord. The West talent.
I'm just saying.
Y'all make so many excuses, Northwest.
No. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse.
This is awesome.
Listen, we took our L's. We took our L. Hell, we even hired a white man one time to coach us. So, we've had a girl on the football team one year. We've had,
Nothing wrong with that.
No. I'm not saying it is. I'm just telling you all the stuff that they encountered over the past few years. That during the time y'all was winning and stuff, we ain't have no identity. We ain't have nothing. Ever since Roland Smith left, and after that last state championship in 2007, the West fell off completely.
Well, where did Roland Smith go?
Exactly. Where did he come from, though? And where did he come from? And where did he go?
Where is he at now?
I don't know. Where is he at?
He's a coach at the University of Miami.
Oh, okay. Well, that's where he went. So,
as a matter of fact, I know I met Roland Smith a couple of times.
Hell, he was my assistant, bro. He was Cal's substitute with me. So I know him. The first day I met him, he asked me, and it was UM against Florida State that week too when I met him. And he asked me, he showed me the newspaper, and he was like, "Who you going for?" And I said, "Florida State." He didn't say shit. All he did, you remember when people used to have the little fanny packs back in the days? And he's unzipped that shit, and he pulled out a couple of national championship rings. I'm like, oh, okay. What that mean to me, bro?
Well, let me ask you something, man, of the hour, outside of support and shape, because I'm sure the fans, we want to talk about the Miami Dolphins, and apparently that's kryptonite to you.
Go ahead. No.
How do you feel about the Miami Dolphins? You ready to come back home?
I'm not that type of fan, but go ahead. What you say now?
Now I'm saying, what you feel about the Miami Dolphins, being that you Miami guy cheering for the Cowboys?
Oh, how do I feel about them? They decent. They straight this year. Everything. I don't really care too much about regular season type stuff. I really don't, because it's all about championships and all that with me.
But y'all ain't won since the 90s. So what you talking about championship?
I'm talking in general.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just talking about my team. I'm talking about in general. You asked me about the Dolphins. So I'm saying regular season, yes, the Dolphins are having an amazing season. I'm hoping Tyreek get to 2,000 yards and all that. I'm not hating on the Dolphins or nothing. Mm-hmm. I just call it how I see it sometimes. And, this is y'all best year that I've seen in a long time.
And you know what? Honest. Even Joe is skeptical on his Cowboys, because we talk privately.
Yeah,
and he's even skeptical because he says, we've had games where a season where we only lost 3 and had a first round.
3 games, yeah. I've had. It should be. It should be nothing new to you.
When Parcells was our coach, we went 13-3. He got eliminated first round. I believe I'm not. I can't remember.
Just recently, 2 years ago.
Who?
Romo and Dak. Y'all win 12-win seasons.
That's what I'm saying. I'm getting
number 1 seed.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We've been 13-3 a couple of times. Bill Parcells was the first one, and Jason Garrett, I believe, hit it too in Dak's first year. But what does that mean if you don't win the championship? I don't care about a 13-3 record. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that should be the mentality of most fan bases.
Because look at the Golden State Warriors. Why we ain't talking about the Golden State Warriors and they broke the Chicago Bulls regular season record? At the end of the day, they didn't win
because they lost game 7 in the finals.
Exactly. They lost in the championship, and since they lost in the championship, who talks about that record? Nobody.
Mm-hmm. How about when the Patriots went undefeated in the regular season?
Huh?
How about when the Patriots went undefeated?
They went undefeated, went 18-1. And that one loss was the last game of the season.
That's my point.
That's the worst way to lose, too.
That's the worst
way
to
win them all and then drop the final game.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm heartbreaking.
So that's why I said what I said about regular season. Like, anybody can have those type of regular seasons. So
that's what it should be for most fans.
I hear you. It looked good on the slide, but given that you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you must be angry all the time, then. You ain't won nothing since the 90s.
I mean, if that's what you want to call it, I don't call it angry.
That's your standard.
I don't see how you're saying I'm angry, and you're telling me that yes, my team hasn't won in a while. If I'm sitting up here saying regular season doesn't matter, I do believe Dallas is having a okay regular season. If you ask me, what we're like the same record with each other.
What I'm saying to you is, if
like
that's your
83,
bylaw,
93?
if that's how you and they'll tell you that's my mentality too in terms of finishing the job. But I think sometimes people say that to deflect, right? Because what the Miami Dolphins are doing this year, it is very clinical to say that they have the tools to get to a
so okay, and I didn't disagree with that though.
Yeah, but it was kind of like an outlier where you like, yeah, I hear you, but waiting for something that we got to wait a whole new year to see. You know, the playoffs ain't until January; it just hit December. So I hear you. It looked good on the slide.
Man, listen, when the playoffs come around, everything that was done in the regular season is just the regular season. Nobody goes back to that and be looking at it like, oh, you only lost 3 games and then you lose in the championship. Only thing that matters is if you lose or win.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, look the Eagles. The Eagles were strong steamrolling teams last year, and got freaking
right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, what does the regular season?
The team with lesser talent ended up beating them.
It's just good to just, you go with it, you follow it, no problem. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, we enjoy every win though. That's it. It's about enjoying the victories. When
right, and there's no problem with that. I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm not saying that it is. All I'm saying is that I'm not the whatever she said, the bitter person or whatever. I'm just calling it how I see it. I like to win the whole thing. Like, if you have an unbelievable regular season, fine, no problem with that. You win the division, fine, no problem with that. You win the conference, fine, no problem with that. But if you don't win the championship, then that goes for everybody. It's not just your team or anybody else's team. My team counts too. All of us, the Cowboys finish out strong and don't win the championship, I'm going to say the same thing.
But so
you still celebrate the Cowboys wins though. You know what I'm saying? But
like to a team like the Chiefs, it's championship or bust because they've been winning
championship. Right. Because man of the hour, I guarantee
the Colts, it's about winning a playoff game if you ain't been to the playoffs.
I guarantee you, if you beat the Dolphins on Christmas Eve, you ain't gonna be on here talking so. Oh yeah, that's all right. But I'm ready for the playoffs.
No, I won't.
You will celebrate the win.
I just said earlier, I'm not that type of fan. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here. If I come on this panel and the Dolphins lose to the Cowboys, I'm not gonna be sitting up here. I'm not gonna do that. I promise you. I swear, it's not gonna happen.
That's one thing me and Joe. We never.
If you're gonna be consistent, I will hope you not do it, because if you don't beat the Eagles and you beat the Eagles, it will be just as equivalent as beating us because you beat a winning team. I mean, if you're gonna be consistent, you're gonna have.
And
to
that's
be
another
consistent.
thing about us. That's the other thing about us. We don't beat good teams.
Hey, if we had to make it to the playoffs and even get bounced in the first round, I'm still good with the regular season, man. I really am.
I mean, but exactly, and I'm not saying it's but I'm saying I'm not saying it's a crime.
I can't just shun
it was a crime, and I don't tell nobody. I don't tell nobody how to hold on. I don't tell nobody how to fan for their team or anything like that. If I choose to sit up there and I want championships, and that what seems to matter to me, cool, no problem. But I shouldn't have to be, kind of, I guess, defending myself a little bit for, I guess, because of you saying how I sound or whatever.
Well, hold on, Fred. Let me answer that. I'm not saying I'm knocking you on it, because if you knew me, I have that same killer mentality. However, I'm not saying that you got to celebrate wins like you hang in the banner. We having the championship parade down the city.
Yeah,
but what I am saying to you is, if you win a big game, a la against Philly or some team like that, I don't see that type of energy of not being happy about it or excited about it and be like, oh, it's the regular season and that's it.
No.
I don't see that.
Okay, well, maybe my words is saying it like that to you, and that's how you're taking it. Trust me, I love every win that we get. But what I'm saying, at the end of the day, you want to.
You might feel it towards that fan base of bragging rights.
Huh?
You might temporarily feel that way for bragging rights only for that given moment, but you won't carry it. It won't be carrying into next season or 3 seasons later saying, oh, we beat this team on this day.
Yes.
Because it's a regular season game.
But for me, it was like the question I asked him is how you felt about the Dolphins season. And then you went back to like talking about something that ain't going to happen until a couple of months from now.
Well, like I said, I was talking about in general for every team. I was just I didn't say anything about the Dolphins. And then I said that the Dolphins are having a good season. Like there's nothing for me to say negative about them.
Yeah. All right. But hey, for everybody else, I'm glad that we 9-3 and we took care of business in Washington. You know what I'm saying? We needed that win. That's what I'm here to discuss.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm gonna be rooting for y'all when y'all play
I
Buffalo.
erased the previous 11 games. I look at us as 1-0 because this is
I'm gonna be a Cowboy fan
really
when they play Buffalo.
It's just a psychological thing with me. I'm not carrying 9-3. I'm carrying us as 1-0 because we all know our struggles in December and how we played the last 2 years. And this month, I'm counting us psychologically as 1-0. Those previous 11 games were meaningless.
Well, and then here's the other thing too. I think we played
a good way to look at it, Crypto.
game. We played a clean game up there in Washington. Tua didn't turn the ball over. You know, the defense got turnovers. You know, for the most part, we controlled the game and imposed our will. So I hear you. If that mentality is 1-0, it still was a good game. Probably one of the best I've seen them play this year.
Yeah, maybe the second, third best game since the
about the third best. Maybe about the third best.
Yeah, about the second or third best. Yeah.
Well, I you know why I put it as up there, because to me, even with the Denver game, our defense was getting cooked. The kick return came back for a touchdown. There was
special teams though.
I think sometimes
people
fell in love with the 70 number, but I'm talking about there was times where they didn't throw on Jalen Ramsey's side. You know, there was having an injury like we did and having Van Ginkel come off the pine. You got Emmanuel Akbar that came and contributed. So that's why to me it was probably the most even game. And then, just having the running back core starting to look like they're getting their sea legs, no pun intended, back. The A-chain, Mostert 1-2 punch. So to me, it was like finally seeing everything on the field and playing it efficiently. Now I would want more with the special teams. I think the punter could put us in better.
No, I would still say because the margin of victory, if you count only defensive points given up, it was 57 in that Denver game. That was a special teams touchdown. Our defense only gave up 13 off.
Right, but that makes my point. That makes my point about.
But I'm saying is the special teams giving up a miscellaneous kick return for a touchdown, which really was their special teams. Great blocking and position on the field. It wasn't like our defense. Special team was missing assignment. That was just great blocking scheme on that one kickoff return.
Right.
You got to credit them for that.
Saunders missed a field goal, right?
It was not. No, he was 10 for 10 on PATs and he missed.
Oh,
he didn't kick
that's
a field
right.
goal
That's right.
He kicked 10 extra points in that game.
But to me, I think it, for me, that your opinion may be different, but to see everything out there, for the first time, and and they was on the road in a month.
I don't think nothing trumps the Denver game. That was the most complete game this team had in 50 years.
I don't think the defense played as well, to me. Like
Crypto. Crypto.
Our defense played well enough to win by 57 actual points.
Right, and
I think holding
honestly,
them to 13 points versus the yesterday's game, they gave up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Our defense didn't even yield a touchdown in the whole second half.
Yeah, I think
Sam Howell scored a touchdown on 4th down against this defense, where Jalen Ramsey was sitting out there with his hands on his ass and his hips, begging to be pulled out of the game because he was tired. And then he got scored on, got ran up the gut by Sam Howell. And then the defense have a break-in cut for a 2-point conversion. Those plays didn't happen at all in the Denver game.
Right, and then here's the other thing:
2-point conversion, or our DBs getting roasted because they was tired.
Well, here's the other thing I want to add to it. It was away. Remember, we got over this whole we can't play away thing. That's another thing that's component. That game in Denver was at home.
No, I don't think
again, it was two. But once again, that was against an inferior quarterback, inferior team, and Denver at that time we played them was just as inferior as Washington is.
Yeah,
listen. According to Pete, that was the next Tom Brady. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's
and I don't remember us being a team that could win on the road. You know what I mean? We could
especially against teams that we have a lopsided talent against.
Yeah, we do well on the road.
I mean, we
another thing
to do it on the road.
And another
against
thing
great
with
teams,
the team,
we haven't done it on the road. against bad teams, we've shown that we can beat a bad team on the road.
Yeah. And another thing, Crypto man, what sits good with me, man, is the fact that we could either blow you out or we can come back from a 14-point lead, Crypto, if we need to, man. Fourth quarter, 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I believe we can come back from a 14-point deficit, or we can blow a team out. I like that.
That's why
I like that about the team, man. I really do.
I mean, it's okay to have different opinions. I just like to point out the very intricate details on the 70-20 victory, on how that would never be trumped as far as a complete game. To beat somebody by 50, you have to play good on both sides of the football. By definition, you're not holding your team, you're holding the other side down, and you putting up a hell of a lot of points on offense. So whenever you create the bigger the margin of victory, the more complete the game is. That's just built in the math. You know what I'm saying? If the
Crypto,
margin
you know
is
what?
large,
Well,
and the team ain't scored 20 points and they don't score 13, that to me is the most complete game. Minus the special
Crypto,
team point, we won the game by 57. So yeah, I don't see how the Denver game is not our most complete game of the season. I mean, we look good winning by 30 last year. We won by an additional 27 more points in the Denver game.
Yo. What up, everyone? What up, Crypto?
Hey, what's up, MCJB?
What happened to your Terrapins?
I don't know. What
happened to your Maryland Terrapins?
Yeah, I don't know, man. To be honest with you.
What happened? Because Alabama.
What's up, JR Black?
That's me.
We in the playoffs. No, we're not gonna talk about it. Okay.
What does Kansas City losing to Green Bay have to do with? Green Bay is a playoff team, and Kansas City is a playoff team. One playoff team beat another playoff team. So what does that got to do with anything, Jermaine? Both teams are a playoff team. If the playoffs started today, both of those teams will be in the playoffs. So Kansas City beating Green Bay is just the one playoff team beating another one.
I think that was
and a signature win for Jordan Love. They beat a team we didn't beat. So no one's diminishing any of our wins. At least they got the job done against the Kansas City Chiefs.
And we number one. We number one for right now.
And
Yep.
We can leave that Chiefs game alone now, man.
We could have got the same outcome in Hard Rock.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because now they want to say, well, the Chiefs only scored 14 against whatever they like to throw out there. Well, they only scored 19 last night. I mean, it's not like the Chiefs are juggernauts on offense this year.
Who y'all think gonna win tonight though? Jacksonville or Cincinnati?
Yo, what's good, JR Black?
They're not a playoff team because they're on the outside looking in. The Broncos lost. The Colts won. The Colts are the 7th seed. The Broncos are the 9th seed. They're not a playoff team.
They still got a shot, don't they?
What's up, JR Black? Look at the hey, can you bring up the final numbers before tonight's game in Jacksonville as far as the 7th seed? If I'm correct, I think the Colts they got the final spot. I think they only lost 6 games.
Hold on, I got it right now. Give me a second.
I mean, it's 5 games because they won last night. So the 7th seed is only 2 games in the loss column from the number 1 seed. Think about that. No one can afford a more than a 2-game losing streak without being completely on the outside looking in. So going into week 13, the 7th seed in the AFC is only 2 games separated in the loss column from the number 1 seed. So let's stop acting like it's such huge difference from 1 to 7 because it's not. It's still tight. Not the MCJB. The Terrapins or the Maryland Terrapins you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's not my favorite team. I like for basketball, I like the Jayhawks for college basketball, Rock Talk Jayhawk, and the Canes for football, and the Fighting Illini because that's the school I went to. The Illinois Fighting Illini. That's my second college football team, Illinois. He said Jermaine sent to a Christmas card. I win 100 if Monday Night Football total is 43 or 44. So, Joe Rich, you got 44 combined points between the Jaguars and Bengals. What, the Jaguars going to score 30 points tonight? Damn. Damn, CCRR going hard after Jermaine.
Can't we all just get along?
Oh. Yeah, fellas, it's a nice stretch run. That's why I say, well, man at hour, you probably will know because it applies in your conference in the NFC. A lot of people give your conference a lot of shade as far as being a weak conference. No, it's competitive because you got one team, one division. It's got 3 playoffs teams in the playoff picture. If the playoffs ended today, 3 teams in the AFC NFC North will be in the playoffs. So, is it really that much worse than the AFC? I think there's a bad narrative that's being put out there about the other conference.
It seems like both of the conferences
have they equal share of bad teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go.
When you add them all the records up together and versus the other conference, the NFC has won more interconference games against the AFC than the AFC did against NFC. So how can they keep putting this bad narrative out there that the NFC is freaking worse? Put it like this. If the NFC wants to fight back against this narrative, all they have to say is the worst team in our conference beat a playoff team as their only win in your conference. That's all I have to say. And that game is the Carolina Panthers' only win came against the Texans, which is a playoff team.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm. There you go. It's balance in both conferences. That'll shut them up right away.
So here
the
we go.
Worst team in our conference beat a playoff team in your conference.
So look, the playoff picture here.
One game sample sizes, man. You got to stop that stuff, man. The NFC is the weakest conference out of the 2, no doubt about it. They got 4 teams over. They got 4 teams over. Look, you just said yourself.
And they said the same thing.
Look, crypto. You got 7 teams. You said you got 7 teams in the AFC who's within 2 games of each other. 7
It was like that. It was like that in the AFC last year.
You got 4 teams in the NFC, crypto. If one of the teams that's going to win the division is either going to win it with 8 and 9 or 9 and 8.
Okay, it's an outlier division in one conference. The AFC South was like that last year.
Crypto, the drop off between San Francisco and
the South. This was when you're using funny math because the NFC North has all of their teams in the
You tripping, man.
How am I tripping? It's just the numbers.
Well, you try to be too objective, though. I understand you try to have objectivity, but you got to be realistic too.
It's not. And if you be too objective. That's me being objective because that's a bad narrative.
Crypto, if you can't see the disparity between
I don't. And once again, last night proved it. The Green Bay Packers just beat the top team in our conference. Just beat the Super Bowl champions. Do I need to give you even more examples?
Do I need to give you more
examples?
Crypto, that's a one game sample size.
Do I need to give you more examples? The Chargers made the playoffs last year. Hold on, let me give you more examples. No. I'm about to go through a litany of more examples.
I don't like when you try to make a point and then move on to other points. Let me try to address that point.
I'm trying to give you more examples. It's not just the Charger. It's not just the Carolina Panthers against the freaking playoff team.
Let's stick with the primary example first, Crypto.
I'm giving you an example of a bad narrative that they need to stop with the nonsense.
What you're doing is creating a bad narrative by using a one-game sample size against the team.
It's not a one-game sample size when I'm going through all the teams.
That has been going through issues over the past 6 weeks, Crypto.
I'm going through all the teams. I'm giving you every list of top teams in our conference that lost to a bad team in their conference. How is that just using an outlier?
Crypto, if you're not going to allow me to make my argument, if you're not going to allow me to make my argument, Crypto, then we're not going to be able to get to the resolution.
I'm trying to. I'm okay. Go ahead. Say what you got to say, because I'm going to just go through a whole litany of all the teams and go through them year by year.
First of all, where were the Miami? Well, we can't do that because you're going to try to be too objective on that. Where would the Detroit Lions be if they was in the ALC?
8-3.
All right, we can't have this conversation.
Because that's
okay.
What is it? That's what a whataboutism.
That's a whataboutism.
But that's the only relative comparison we have. We have to take the body of work and the opponent and the schedule, and you have to transfer it over to
if the top teams in this conference. As if the top teams in this conference. Okay, as if the top teams in this conference have beaten up on bad teams.
I have a good way to do this. All right, the Lions. Let's take the Lions. Right, they have 3 losses. Right.
Right. Yeah, I think they got. I think they sit at 3.
All right. Let's see who those 3 losses were to. One was to the Ravens.
Right, and the Ravens pretty much beat everybody in the conference when Lamar Jackson's at the helm. He's 19-1 against that.
Last 3 times we played them.
They lost to the Seahawks too.
Well, we're 2-1.
Yeah.
We're 3-4. We're 3-4. We're 3-4 against Lamar Jackson, and we're 2-1 in the last 3.
3-4 and 2-1 in the last 3.
Now.
Well, what I'm saying is Lamar Jackson's success against the conference, he has the all-time record, is what I'm saying. He's 19-1. He only lost 1 game his whole career against the opposing conference. He has a better record than Brady against the opposing conference.
Poke your ass back in the house.
What'd you say?
That came out here, dude. I'm talking to my son. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, I was just pointing out that Lamar is the outlier as far as dominance over the other conference. No other quarterback has that kind of record.
This whole conversation really is just going to continue to dig us down a rabbit hole, because neither one of us are fairly abreast with all of the current dynamics of each conference. However, I will say this: it can be an opinion-based argument, and I strongly believe that the ALC is a superior conference. Now, the top 2 teams of the top 2 teams of the NLC will probably be the top 2 teams of the ALC as well. I can admit that. But as a body, right, I think the ALC is a much stronger conference.
Okay, that's fair to say, but I just don't think it's a huge gulf of separation like people portray it to be. That's all I'm trying to emphasize. They can believe that, you know what I'm saying? I can go with the opinion, but I can't believe that there's I think maybe only an inch or 2 separation between the two as a body.
Does the Patriots beat the Panthers? Does the Patriots beat the Panthers, or have they already beaten the Panthers?
No.
Well, they don't play the Panthers.
They haven't played them. They haven't played them yet.
Does the Patriots beat the Cardinals?
I don't even know if they played them. No.
No. I'm saying
not this year's Patriots. No. Last year's Patriots that beat the crap out of the Cardinals.
Wait a minute. What about this year's Cardinals? What about this year's Cardinals, Crypto? What do you mean?
That's what I'm talking about. This year's Cardinals going to beat them. That's what I'm saying.
Why?
This year's Cardinals going to be real good.
Why?
Shake,
because we all know
they
Belichick
they
is in
got
tank
the
mode. That's why.
bro. They got the playoff machine up, bro, where it shows the brackets and like all you got to do is click on the Bengals or the Jags and you can see it'll change because they're the only game left.
I would
this week.
agree with Big Nick's statement. In any given average year, Belichick will figure out a way to beat those.
That's on
teams.
ESPN, by the way.
I'm not even talking about Belichick. I'm just talking about New England is the worst team in the ALC, and the NFC have like two teams that are the worst teams.
I don't even think New England could beat the Panthers.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what it comes down to. Like, could they beat the Panthers? You know, because what's the sixth seed? Who's the sixth seed in the ALC right now? Is it Cleveland?
Oh, Cleveland. Yeah, right now. Cleveland
Hey,
now.
Crypto. Cleveland missing Deshaun Watson wrecks everything from the third seed down in the NFC.
No, I would say more like
Yeah.
the 8th seed.
Wrecks everything down from the third seed in the NFC. The only teams I'm putting over Cleveland in the NFC is San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Dallas. I got a chance against all the other teams with Cleveland.
No,
Wait a minute.
I think Detroit will beat them.
No, you can't. You can't say that, Big Nick, because we just had that experiment yet. You can't say it because we just had that experiment yesterday when the Rams just destroyed Cleveland. If my memory serves me correct,
Yeah, they did. The Rams beat them 36 to 19.
That's true. That's true. That's a one-game sample size. Basing it on the full body of work this year, name a team that you're going to have favorite. Name a team you're going to have favorite over Cleveland. Name a team you're going to have favorite over
Cleveland. You could say the Browns and the 49ers matchup.
Hey, the Browns beat the 49ers.
Name what, but in the overall body of work, I'm having them favorite
I
over
stuck the
Cleveland.
link to the playoff
Name a
machine.
team.
I got
Hold
it.
on. Crypto.
I didn't know if you were.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got you, Crypto. I think I got you. Other than San Francisco, Dallas, or Philly, name a team in the NFC that you're favoring over Cleveland.
I'm favoring Green Bay over them.
Right now, the Rams.
Right.
You think their season body of work is more dominant than Cleveland's body of work season?
Well,
no, I'm talking about head-to-head matchup.
But they're getting back to complete. They've been decimated with injuries and all kinds of problems, bro.
Yeah,
they're getting back to work right now, and they're starting to roast teams, dude.
Cleveland lost the best defensive player in the NFL and their starting quarterback, and they still winning.
Yeah, I think Cleveland's got the best shot out of all the teams that lost their star quarterback. I think Cleveland's got the best shot because Flacco is precisely the type of quarterback that is for their system. I mean, he's an AFC North guy. You know what I mean? That's just perfect for him.
They got a defense I don't want to play, and I'm the biggest Homer Dog fan in the world.
I mean, if they can win like they did they won last year with Jacoby Brissett, so I have no doubt that they're going to do better with Flacco than the Jets did.
You're right. They will probably hold their position, yes.
But that's proving my point. I think Cleveland has a big team in the AFC.
Well, then again,
but is Cleveland truly a sixth seed?
Seattle's doing better with Geno Smith than the Jets ever did.
Yeah, but who in the ALC, Shake? Who in the ALC, honestly, in the playoff picture right now that you got Seattle over? Houston?
Houston would be close.
Pittsburgh.
Indianapolis.
Houston would be close. Jaguars would be close.
That's fair.
Indianapolis.
Okay.
I think the Seahawks could beat the Jags on any given Sunday.
I think they could beat. I think they could beat Indy. No, I don't think they could beat the Jags, but I think they could beat Indy. I'll definitely give them the edge over Indy right now.
Indy's in the playoff race.
Yeah, they got Gardner Minshew. Yeah, they got Gardner Minshew right now.
I don't. I like them over Indy. So what I'm saying is, you're taking Cleveland as a 6 seed. They're 6 seed, right?
Yeah.
I like them over everything except 3 teams.
Well, again, like I said, Flacco makes all the difference in the world for a team like the Browns, man. I don't think their run is over by any stretch of the imagination.
Cleveland is up 3 games in the in the AFC South.
Matter of fact, Big Nick, they dropped one yesterday, which was tough for them. But if the Ravens lose one, and the Browns win out, or keep winning, by the time we face the Ravens, we, the Dolphins, could actually hand the Browns the AFC North Division title. Can you believe that shit?
Cleveland don't have a quarterback, man.
It could come down to us beating the Ravens so the Browns can win the North.
That's impossible.
Yeah, they limped to the finish. Yeah,
it's over with. They down to Flacco. It's impossible.
Yeah, it'd be hard for the
I'm
Ravens
just saying,
to fundamentally
mathematically,
win the
that
division
scenario
by winning the
is
next 2 games.
possible. You know what I mean? Like it could literally come down to us knocking the Ravens out and handing the title to the Browns.
If it would have been,
I don't think the Ravens would fall that
Brian
much.
Hoyer. If it would have been Brian Hoyer, I can be like, okay, I can see your point. But they down to Flacco. I can't go with that.
No. Again, I'm not saying that's what I think's going to happen. I'm just saying it's a possible scenario. It's not mathematically out of that. Like that's got a 50-50 shot like any other scenario right now.
Did you guys discuss that if Buffalo lose 1, then Miami's magic number is 1?
No,
pretty much. I don't think they can lose 1.
No, if Buffalo loses 1, then that reduces Miami magic number to 1. You don't have to win 1 more game. Yeah,
it should. Yeah.
So, hey, Big Nick, real quick, you look at the playoff.
Let's lose 1 more AFC game.
No, 1 more game. Period.
Are you looking at the playoff picture right here? The AFC.
No, because we can still tie.
Hey, hold on. We're not talking about we can't. We couldn't.
No, because it'll be 7 losses and we can lose 7.
They lose 1, They lose 1 and we win 1, they'll be mathematically impossible to catch us, even if they sweep out.
No, because they'll mathematically they'll still be alive. We will have to lose every game for them to catch us.
You got to count on the
Big Nick, it could come down. It would mean that the last game of the season would be for the division.
It would be for the title.
We lost 1.
So we have to win 2 games.
It's simple math. There are 3 games behind us. Win-loss. There are 3 games. They lose 1, and we win 1.
If they lose 1, their best record could be 10-7.
There'll be 5 games behind us with
Big Nick, listen. If they lose 1, their best record could be 10-7. We could still end with a 10-7 record, which means that it could come down to the last game of the season if that were the case.
Right. Mathematically, we have to win 2 when they lose
we'd have
1.
to win 2. Our magic number for wins would be 2 if they lost 1.
No, absolutely not. No, you guys. No.
No, because remember, we finished with the same record and they beat us twice. They own the tiebreaker.
No, listen.
But every week that goes by, it chops 1 off, is what Big Nick's thinking.
Guys, listen. They had their bye week. Right? We're talking simple math. They had their bye week, and we've had our bye week. So if they lose 1, and that'll be 4 losses, and we win 1, we'll increase the lead to 5 in the loss column over them. They can't win the division then.
No, we'll still be 4 in the loss column.
Hold on, Crypto. The division, I think he's right. But playoffs, they'd still have a chance to get in by beating us in the last
game. No, not for the division. Because if we end up with 7 losses, like you said before, they will own the tiebreaker if they have the same record.
Crypto, not if there's the same amount of games remaining. If they lose 1 and we win 1, we increase our division. They don't go by the same game.
But they won't call the division title if they lose 1 and we win 1. They won't call it until it's more than a 4-game separation.
That's not okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. No,
it has to be more than 4 games.
You're going to be stuck on what it's math, Crypto. It's math.
I'm using the math.
Crypto, with every game, you eliminate a game. So if they lose a game and we win a game,
there will only be 7 losses.
There will be no way
all you have to do, look, guys,
games.
you don't.
We still have to win 2.
There's no reason to continue the debate. All you have to do is go to the New York Times. It's the page where you can plug in the projections for how Miami can win the division or whatever. And you can see as soon as you click
Magic
on
number is
whatever,
2.
it'll go to 100%. The moment it goes to 100% is whoever's right in this case.
See, look, check this out. Let me give you an example. Crypto keeps saying that we can both finish at 10-7. If we win one more game, that's impossible for us to do.
You saying impossible? I'm just saying mathematically it's possible.
We only got 9 wins. If we win one more game, that's 10 wins.
That's 10.
Right. But if
we mathematically they can still get 10 wins if they beat us in the last game of the season, which would also give them the head-to-head tiebreaker.
Yeah, no. If they lose one and we win one, our magic number is. I didn't say we clinch. I said our magic number is 1.
Yeah, if they lose one,
we win, but we don't clinch.
This is why it's 2. Because if they lose one, damn, man, can somebody else finish, bro? If they lose one, they've got 7 losses.
No, he was talking to somebody in the background.
Look, if they lose one, they've got 7 losses, which means the most they can get is 10 wins. At that point, our magic number becomes 2 because we have to get to 11 wins to take the division.
Okay.
Right.
Unless our 10th win is the last game of the season and it goes to other tiebreakers that we probably own.
If you listen to what I said, this is what I said. If they lose one and we win, our magic number is 1.
Oh, yes. That you're correct about. Yes, you're correct. Yes.
I thought you said
this coming up week, if they lose and we win, our magic number is 1. Absolutely.
That's wrong. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we misunderstood you apparently.
So it can be
that was just a misunderstanding. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So currently,
then it becomes
Currently, their magic number is 1 and our magic number is 2. Currently.
Now here's the bad. That's for the division. Now here's the bad news when it comes to the playoffs. Because every fucking top seed only wants to lose between 3 and 4 games, the Miami Dolphins is going to have to play its starters in week 18. And we all need that win to get into the playoffs.
But Big Nick, that was supposing that the Chiefs. No. That was supposing that the Chiefs would have taken care of business against the bad opponents last night, bro. Well, they slipped big time last night, bro.
Yeah, but you still got the Jaguars.
I don't even count them as slipping.
You still got the Jaguars.
No, they slipped because that was one of the games that we all chalked up for them to win.
And we were making a mistake because of this one reason.
I wasn't. I picked Green Bay, bro. I ain't the one. I picked Green Bay.
I'm just saying, a lot of Dolphins fans, and I overlooked it. I overlooked the fact that the Green Bay Packers are undefeated in their team history against everybody in that division.
They also have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Buffalo Bills, so they're not out of it.
And also, their head coach is 16-0 in the month of December.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Not only the Green Bay's head coach is perfect,
right.
Batting 1,000 in the month of December,
when I made my
prediction, the Chiefs, nobody in their division won a game in Lambeau Field ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I said that the Chiefs would have a harder time beating Green Bay than we would beating Washington.
Crypto, when I heard that stat, I cringed, right? Because that's one of those fucked up ass, misleading ass stats that really don't tell the whole story about being undefeated in December. Because during that tenure, as him being that coach, he also faced a 1-15 team, a 3-14 team.
Well, that's fair enough.
But you
play
in front of you.
You're splintering off to an irrelevant debate at this moment, though.
But that's not the point. But that's not the point. You play enough December games. You play enough December games to go 16-0.
Not against.
You don't play.
Not against you don't play 16.
They're not playing. First of all, they're not playing teams 0-16. They're not. First of all, they played one team last night that was the best in the conference, so that throws that narrative out of the water. Then they thrown another team that was. They played
one game sample size.
You like using one game sample size as if they playing all 0-16 teams for the whole month of December.
All the opponents that Green Bay
all the opponents that head coach faced in 16 tries.
Crypto, if you had Detroit back then and Chicago back then in that division, your chances of
And you
being
had
very
Minnesota in that
competitive inside
division
that
too.
division. Yeah,
Minnesota won 12 games last year.
hey, look.
Detroit
I'm
was a
just
near
saying.
playoff team by the time they played in
Hey,
December.
no, bro. When?
They played more winning teams. Matter of fact, one of those teams.
They
Hold
beat
on,
us in December.
they beat us in December. Were we one of the
That's true.
Were we a bad team?
All I'm saying. Look,
Come on.
look. See, you like to break down points to the minute. All I'm saying is the numbers can be skewed a little bit because
I
of
don't know if it's that skewed though. Come
because
on,
of the
No, but to be
times.
fair, Big Nick, he was actually speaking in the macro. He was just trying to say, hey, there ain't nobody was being irrational by picking the Packers last night, is what he's trying to say. Because of these other nostalgic reasons. You know what I mean?
Right. I was just trying to give a more big picture context on
Green Bay
how much.
suffered a bad loss. Green Bay suffered a bad loss and kind of, made Detroit, gave them a little breathing space a little bit. But
No, I'm talking last night. Like, I seriously think the Chiefs got big time slipped last night. They could not afford to lose to the Packers for the top seed.
Green Bay and Las Vegas. Green Bay right now in Vegas parallels each other. A few breaks right here and there, and they can be.
Well, remember though, we were hoping that the Bills would be the ones to give the Chiefs that loss we need them to get, and the Chiefs ended up getting it against the Packers, bro. That's big for us, man.
That wasn't in Lambeau Field. I said in Lambeau Field, Mensa.
The Bills will beat anybody in the NFL. Let's keep it 100, man.
But that's what I'm saying, Big Nick. At this point, we needed the Bills to beat the Chiefs because when you look at the Chiefs' schedule, you don't see many opportunities for them to lose again. And last night, they weren't supposed to lose, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. That shit's huge.
They're still undefeated in Lambeau Field against that division. What I was trying to say, Mensa.
They did, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They did. So
they got it.
Well, I'm saying that benefits us because we're looking at their schedule going, oh, they just got a loss we weren't expecting them to get. That makes things a little easier for our road to the top seed.
Yeah, but that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that we're going to have to play our starters in the last game against Buffalo, who might be needing that game.
And I'm just saying that the Green Bay loss last night, I'm just saying that the loss to Green Bay may change that. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it may change that.
No, man, you still got two other teams.
If Jacksonville loses tonight, we are in sole possession of the top seed. All we have to do is win out.
But you only separate. But to his point, Color, we're still gonna have to play our starters because it'd be a meaningful game.
But I'm saying though, if we win out till the last game, then we might have it locked up if these other teams lose again.
Yeah, if they lose again, but
lose again.
Even if we go until week 18,
and that's my point. The Chiefs weren't supposed to lose last night.
If they weren't supposed to lose last night, what makes you think they ain't gonna be extra geared up for the remaining part of their schedule?
I'm just saying, okay, fine, but
hey, hypothetically, if the Miami Dolphins go into week 18 at 13-3.
13-3. We have the top seed locked up if we're 13-3 going into. No, I'm sorry, bro. If we're 13-3 going into week 18, we've likely locked the top seed, dude.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, Color.
Not necessarily, but likely is what I'm saying.
Can I finish so you can understand where I'm going with it? Let me finish so you can see where I'm going with it. We go in at 13-3, right? And Baltimore, Jacksonville, and Kansas City are all at 12-4. We have to play our starters.
No,
right, because we lose the tiebreaker in the 3-game series.
Only because of the Chiefs. And depending on what we do against the Ravens. But we're assuming we won out. We're assuming we won out, so we beat the Ravens.
The reason why we'll drop it. We don't play Jacksonville, and it's the reason why
the only one would be Jacksonville and Kansas City. I think they would hold the tiebreaker.
Right, that's why we have to play our starters.
We got to play our starters.
But,
we can't be just only one game ahead.
But
we have to be 3 games
I don't think Jacksonville can go without suffering 2 more losses.
That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is if that scenario happens.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm just saying there's still a possibility maybe 24% that we're locked up, that we don't have to play anybody that game.
Look, the only one.
Not that I'm worried about that. I think we should be playing them anyway. But that's just me.
Yeah. If we went out 13, let's say we go 12-4, and another team was 12-4.
Going to destroy Cleveland.
The only team that we can go 12-4 with will be Baltimore, and that's because in that 12-4 we'll have a head up victory.
Right, and if we were to drop that, then we need chances to lose 2 more games.
Right, but see, that's what I'm trying to say. They weren't really supposed to lose anymore, but possibly one against the Chiefs. I mean, against the Bills. And now they've dropped an extra one, is what I'm saying.
But then they might just swap those games.
That's possible, Crypto. Yes, of course it's possible the Chiefs just take care of the Bills. I get that. But it was possible before, too.
Grab some more and see what happens.
Yeah. That's why we didn't look at the intangibles of the fact that.
But I can tell you, as one of the very only people I know that picked the Packers last night, there wasn't nobody thinking the Chiefs could lose last night.
I don't care.
No, I thought that they could. No, that's even though I picked against them, but I thought they could have lost that game.
I picked the Chiefs too. I picked the Packers too.
Well, there you go. There you go, Shake. All right, that's how you pick them at 3 in the morning.
I just thought that Andy Reid will overcome what on the defensive side what Jordan Love was putting out.
I did too, but I needed an upset of the week, so I went ahead and picked the Packers anyway.
And that's not even considered an upset, given the factors that nobody wins in Lambeau Field.
Well, it is kind of an upset, bro. I don't know, man. Come on, man. You're still talking about.
I'm not considering a team that's in the playoffs an upset losing to another team that's in the playoffs.
A team that is like 500 or lower. I mean, come on, really?
Man, what you guys
they're a playoff team or not?
What you guys forget?
Maybe they aren't. I mean, they've already dropped to the Broncos in a similar fashion that they did to the Packers last night. They almost lost to us. I mean. Maybe they ain't contenders.
Well, almost ain't good enough. It's either they did or not. It's either you're pregnant.
I'm just saying, maybe they ain't contenders. Is all I'm saying, bro. They could be a one done in the playoffs for all we know.
Just because they're losing to good opposing conference teams in the opposing conference,
right? Which is what they're going to face in the wild card when we take the top seed. That's right.
No, they might beat everybody in the wild card, but they just can't beat the opposing conference. They're probably struggling against them.
Okay.
So far, all of their losses pretty much came against the other conference.
They lost to their division opponent. How's that the other conference?
Man, the NFL playoffs are
one game. But one game, but all of the other remaining losses was to the best teams in the other conference.
And if not for our mistakes and one extra great defensive play, they don't beat us.
Well, it's a game of inches, though. You can't say.
I understand that.
For our mistakes.
I understand that. You're saying that they only struggle against interconference opponents.
It's the case the Jets.
Okay to consider the alternative, Crypto.
No, the Jets made enough mistakes against them too. The Jets,
they struggled against the Jets too. That's right. They struggled against the Jets defense too.
They did just enough defensively and offense to beat you.
You're right, but you made the claim that they only struggle against NFC opponents, and I'm saying that's not
the only
true.
one that's been proven. They didn't really struggle against us, other than offensively what they've been struggling.
What are you talking about? We outperformed them on offense, bro. How did they not struggle?
Outperforming them by 1 or 2 yards doesn't tell the whole picture.
But it does, because our performance was shitty, and theirs was even shittier.
Crypto. When this whole decline of the Kansas City Chiefs happened like a week prior to us playing, right? A week prior to us playing them. But it was our game that put the spotlight on this team. Got issues, bro.
No,
their wide receivers are running at a 55% clip, dude. That's trash.
We exposed that team.
No, it wasn't us. This is when the fandom is getting in the way, because that decline was on display. The very ring ceremony, opening night, when the receivers receivers was dropping ball left or right against Detroit on opening night.
No, that was
I
a
agree with that.
Don't give me this nonsense that it started
I agree
with
with
our
that.
game.
But how are
It
they
started on
considered as
opening night.
how are they considered contenders when their wide receivers are at a 55% catch rate, bro?
It started. Well, we like to say that it's always our doing, and when it started prior to me playing them.
Because that same team that lost on opening night. That same team that lost on opening night to a division winner, to the number 3 team in the NFC. That same team went on to thrash 4 straight
they didn't lose to them.
victims. They went on to thrash 4 straight people. I mean, whoop their ass.
Who you talking about?
Straight. That team you brought up the first game the Kansas City Chiefs lost. You said that's when the decline started. The first game.
Yeah, the very first game against Detroit.
They went on a 4-game winning streak after that. Crypto.
Yeah, but they weren't dominating nobody on offense.
Man, they were whooping teams ass. Patrick Mahomes.
They haven't dominated anybody all year.
Right.
I'm saying the decline started before the year even started. They haven't dominated anybody this year.
Yeah, but the noticeable decline where the media started talking about it.
Very sparingly. They did do better against the Raiders than our offense did against the Raiders.
The Raiders was their best game of the year, bro. Point total wise.
I think it was a second. I think they scored 40 against the Bears.
Maybe you might be right. I'm just saying, bro. They ain't like their bro.
Well, 31 against the Chargers.
The only thing they've got is their clout from the last couple years, and that has allowed them, for some reason, to pull out some wins, bro. It is a real thing. I get it.
They have been playing better defense to keep them from.
Yeah, but that can only last so long, as the Packers proved last night, bro. You can crack a defense eventually, man.
I mean, you can, but you have to make enough big boy throws and sprinkle in there here and there. I mean, they were making some big boy throws against that defense, even though they stiffened up. You know, Kansas City did decline.
Oh, I don't disagree, and I'm not saying that Kansas City's defense is permanently cracked. I'm just saying that, like, the reason defense wins championships is because it comes at the right time, not because it like eventually you can crack a defense. The only ones you can't are like Ray Lewis defense of the Ravens, bro. That shit just can never be cracked.
I think they lost 4 games, right? So that means they got 4 losses, right? I think the most points they've given up was what, 24? And all 4 losses?
That was
28,
last night was their highest. Last night was their highest. Yes, that's correct.
So last night was the highest.
And it was, and I believe, wasn't it the Broncos that put 24 on them?
The Broncos, and then this last night it was 31 or whatever the final was. Yeah. So that was the most that defense given up all season. So they've been going break.
Back to the Miami Dolphins. I think the top 3 units on the Miami Dolphins. See if you guys agree with me, and then I'll put them in my order. Offensive line, defensive line, secondary, right? I think those are the top 3 units. I'm putting the defensive line at number 1. I'm putting the secondary at number 2, and the O-line at number 3. What do you guys think?
I'm going secondary number 1. I'm going secondary 1, wide receivers 2, running backs 3.
Wow. No love for the D-line.
I'm gonna go rooms, wide receivers 1, DBs 3, defensive line 3.
Yeah, I almost want to put the D-line with the secondary just because I really firmly believe that they're hand in hand and that both have improved because of each other.
I can't put the wide receiver room up there. Tyreek Hill has 1,481 yards. Jalen has 700 yards. Nobody has over 200 yards outside of them 2.
Oh, well, how many yards?
200.
Well, 700. Oh, 200. So you got 2,100 yards between only 2 individuals, and the rest account for the other 6 receivers only count for less than 200?
No,
because we know those other guys can catch. We just not using them.
No other individual receiver have over 200
Yeah,
yards.
but we know all those
No
guys.
individual.
Most
Okay, I
of
got
them
you.
can be a wide receiver
Yeah,
too
so you
on
can't-
other teams, bro.
You can't give it to
Okay.
a whole unit with his
A whole
carry
unit.
about
Okay,
one and a half.
I could come to the table with you on that. Then I will rank the DBs as one. Then
I
as far
understand
as
the DB.
Hey,
as
I'm
far as
going purely on
effectiveness.
wide receiver potential because it's not their fault we're not using them. At least two of our wide receiver 3 or
No.
4s could be wide receiver 2s
I-
on
I
other
will-
teams.
I won't even rate them on potential. I rate them on the fact of their gravity
On
of Tyreek
productivity
and
this
Waddle.
year. On productivity this year, you got to rate them on.
We also
His-
can't
his-
discount the effect they have on the running game with their blocking ability.
And the effect that they have on the
That's not
defensive
quantifiable.
coordinators.
In this metric, that's
Wait a
not
minute.
I mean, that doesn't hold water color. How well they block because
I know it's not quantifiable,
No, I wouldn't
but
even
I
say
know
they're
it to
blocked,
be
yeah.
true. It's like a live truth for me, bro. You know what I mean?
Let me make my case for the defensive line. Top 10 in run defense, top 10 in pass rush efficiency and all the metrics, right? I believe they might be even top 3 or top 5 in pass rush metrics. They're number 8 in run defense. This defensive line is carrying this defense right now, man.
I think the DBs are causing us to get more coverage sacks.
I agree. I think Jalen Ramsey is carrying this defense right now, bro.
If it wasn't for Jalen Ramsey, our defense would getting roasted. If it wasn't for Ramsey out there.
That's why I got him at number 2. But let me tell you something. Jalen Ramsey ain't got nothing to do with them dropping from the bottom 10 of run defense to at one point number 1.
First of all, he has everything to do with
That's
why
because
they're running in
he
the
has a
first
lot.
place. And secondly, bro, you can literally see their quarterbacks
not.
go to target him and change their mind, bro, and take a sack for it.
And y'all gonna put some respect on X-Man because y'all act like X over there getting lit up. Like neither one
He
of them
would be if it wasn't for Jalen. If it wasn't for Jalen, X would be roasted. We'll be talking about him as worse than Kato Kohu in his day. I'm telling you.
Nobody
be
ain't
sending him
throwing
that man Christmas
let's
gift.
keep it real. But I'm just saying that defensive line dominant right now.
I think X need to be sending Ramsey some Christmas gifts, cookies, and gingerbread.
Crazy. They're not throwing over that
Gingerbread.
crypto.
He need to be sending the man some s'mores crunch, gingerbread, eggnog, and some brand
What's wrong with him? Shay, tell him they're
chestnut.
not throwing that 25 either.
Okay, how about this then, Big Nick? I won't go the defensive line, but what I will do is I'll say, here's the units. Here's the units.
Man.
The group. Here's the groups I got in order. Secondary, running backs, and Andrew Van Ginkel.
The reason I brought that up because
X isn't playing well. He's
like
being covered
ABG
up.
is his own group, bro. You know what I mean?
the reason I brought that up is because on First Take they were saying who's the MVP, right? And Shannon and Stephen A said Tyreek. And Dan Orlovsky, he tried to make a case for Tua. But this is what I try to tell Dolph fans: don't listen to the national media, right? Because this man said Tua is having the season he's having with the O-line that's in the bottom 10 of the league.
That's
How
a
are they the
lie,
bottom
bro.
10?
That's
That's
an
a lie.
outright
They're not
lie, bro. Our offensive line is
they're not
not
the
bottom
bottom
10
10
in the league, bro. That's a lie.
Yeah, that is
That's an
definitely a lie.
outright lie.
Where do you get that number from? That's a lie.
Not only that's a lie, but that just shows proof that you do not follow the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's evident there with that kind of statement.
How
Yeah,
the
that's
number
definitely
2
evident.
rushing team in the NFL, the number 2
bottom
rushing
tier.
team
Tua's
in the
got the
NFL.
lowest pressure rate in the league, bro. How is he going to
The
say
number 2
that?
rushing team, the number 2 rushing team, and the team with the running back who has the most touchdowns in the NFL.
Right.
is
How
the bottom
can you be in the bottom 10 with them kind of numbers? Something's got to give.
And let me tell you something. How are you going to break Ricky Williams' record? Monster is about to break Ricky Williams' record. How can you do that with a bottom?
With a bad offensive, it's not like he's breaking tackles every time he touched the football.
Dude.
He's running through gaps created by Eichenberg. You heard that, Batman?
If Achane wouldn't have got hurt, if he wouldn't have got hurt, we would have had 2 1,000-yard rushers, man. And it still might be out.
We might still, bro. We might still.
We might still got shot. If he breaks another a few more 150-yard games, he can get to it.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, a couple more 50 plus games, he could do it.
And Dan Orlovsky, come on, boy. Dan Orlovsky definitely is not a Dolphin hater, and I know he was trying to make a good case, but that just shows.
He used the wrong metric. He used the wrong metric to make that case.
That's just a talking point from 3 years ago.
Right.
Because
that is.
Yeah, and he knows that Stephen A, as far as winning a debate at the moment, he knows Stephen A don't know the difference yet. So he went to that talking point from 3 years ago and he got away with it in the debate.
He got away with it.
Actually, it's good for him. Good for him. That's how you win. You know what I mean?
Color and Crypto,
that one up.
I know you guys can vouch for this. I've been touting the improvement of this offensive line from last season. I was the one saying, name a game the offensive line cost us a game. I was the one saying the offensive line, we rushed for over 2,000 yards as a team last year.
Yeah, you asked me that question. I remember it.
And I think I followed you up by pointing out that our pressure rate had gone down last year, and it's gone down even 10 more percent, Big Nick.
Right. You pointed out the biggest metric. You pointed out the fact that we went from like the 27th ranked O-line to like the 13th, and nobody talked about that last year.
Nope.
Right.
And in the last 9 games or whatever, we were like 9th. In O-line or something like that.
Right, yeah, the last 9 games of last season, yeah.
And so, and if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of the year, didn't we have like 2 offensive linemen that was in the top 3 metric overall? Wasn't it Austin Jackson and Connor Williams like in the top 3? PFF was the best. No, or was it Robert Hunt that was like in the top 3 of the best guards in football? It was something like that. I remember hearing about offensive line.
Hooked up Joe. He's gonna be sending a lot of gifts to Aunt Ramsey, including some chestnuts. And you got to roast them on that open fire.
Crypto, let it go by X, man. Let it go, man. Let it go, Crypto. I mean, I've been critical. I was critical, but I also got to recognize that they ain't throwing at that man.
There's a reason.
Yeah, it's a reason. It's a reason.
It's number 5. Matter of fact, I got footage of number 5. He was tired on that last series the Commanders had, so I got footage of the man. So he was a little tired. He needed a little break.
Hey, all they big pass players was on linebackers. You guys know that, right?
Scrambling drills. The linebackers are not the strongest. That's not our strongest core. The linebackers is not the strongest core of defense.
No, and so to me again, I'm
credit to Sam Howell for getting out of the pocket, buying some time, because it don't matter who you are or who your linebackers are. When you're on a scramble drill, it's too easy to get a mismatch against the linebacker like that.
Yeah, right.
So Crypto, your cup is always half full. It's always half full, no matter which side of the table you on. Is the Miami Dolphins secondary not having a great year with interceptions a good thing or a bad thing?
I would say it's good as far as not having a good year with the interception.
No, not saying not having a good year, just not like picking off a lot of passes.
The other thing is Sam Howell's got some fucking tree trunks for legs, man. Like it's hard to do. He escaped a couple times on a shoestring just because his legs are like tree trunks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the quarterbacks ain't throwing at IDBs. That's all I'm saying.
Or you don't have the quarterbacks with enough discipline to go through possessions to challenge them. But yeah, it could be a combination of both.
Bro, I mean, it was so blatant last week against the Raiders with Aiden O'Connell, man. It was so blatant, bro. The guy looked over to Rams, hadn't targeted him all day, man. Looks over to him during the play, doesn't throw it, goes to look back the other way, and he's already swamped up for a sack by then.
Yeah. Which one are you talking about? Lewis, which one are you talking about? Is Cap about the linebackers, Lewis? I didn't know what he's talking about. You talking about the linebackers?
Why the fact that Tyreek Hill admitted to the world that he ran the wrong route, and people don't believe him and they're saying that Tua threw a bad ball?
On the second
because
touchdown,
people got to have something to argue about. Because to me, it don't even matter. Like,
I think you're talking about the second touchdown, right?
Yeah, but Tyreek is telling you that was a corner route that he took to the post.
Yeah, he adjusted the route. Yeah, I thought he threw it in the other direction and he turned around, he turned his hip and he was right there. So yeah,
Tyreek
that was in the end zone. I was sitting in that end zone that was that he was on that side of the field. The man jumped in front of me. I had to look at the rest of it on the freaking Jumbotron, but I had my camera on at the time.
See, to me, it's a moot point anyway. It's a moot point anyway, because if he's telling the truth, then he's owning up to it, and he's the one that made the mistake. If he's just caping up for Tua, then that means he's willing to excuse Tua. So if our star wide receiver is willing to excuse Tua, why the hell couldn't I?
Hey, because
all I'm saying is it's like, to me, it doesn't matter either way. He said it was his fault, so I'm just going to take him at his word. You know what I mean?
How good is that hamburger?
That's what I'm saying, Big. That's exactly what I'm saying, Big Nick, because it's a moot point in the long run. You know what I mean?
How good is that hamburger, buddy?
It's only as good as the chef told
That's
me.
exactly what I'm saying, bro. It's a complete moot point at that. I mean,
only if the chef told me that was good.
If it was really his fault, then he owned up to it. If it wasn't and he's caping for Tua, then he's obviously excusing Tua, which we all should.
But when that same fable works for color, he explains out of it. But when I try to use it, he uses it as a negative against me because I said Chris Greer said he's not worried about the old line, and that's where I first heard the hamburger fable.
No, but bro, I was with you on that. I'm telling you, bro. I'm just I'm so tired of like us trying to decide which is like public speak and which is not. Like, if we're all going to decide everything they say is PR, then it's all a lie. If we're going to decide that it's not, then we have to believe them for the words out their mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I was on the island by myself from the moment he said it until you guys came aboard. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
No, I never questioned the offensive line. And I've heard the space,
Nick.
Back then,
I've heard the space on
back then, you were so fucking neutral. You were so like you still neutral. You just support, you just commentate both sides, whatever. However you do it, you run the show. But you was extremely neutral back then, so I don't know what you.
No, I didn't care. I said, look, this is how I felt about it.
I just got sick of them bashing the offensive line.
These are my exact words. If this team has confidence in Tua, then they should have. Then if you're telling us that we should have confidence in this team moving forward with Tua, then we should do the same thing with the offensive line.
Yeah,
it's in their second year under a new head coach just as well.
And even if anybody was indifferent, we certainly weren't like some people are like, let's jump off a cliff because Tua is going to get hurt, while Chris Greer's out there going, relax, people, we're perfectly fine with it.
Hey, look, and maybe I was one of those guys, right? Because you don't know what you don't know, right? You have to admit that to yourself, that you don't know what you don't know. But I am also smart enough to
Jack, 7-0.
What's the term you use to err on the side of authority, right? I am when it comes to expertise and things. I'm gonna caution on the side of the expertise. So when I heard this man saying, "Look, y'all worried about the offensive line, the people in this building is not," it woke my ass up.
Right. But see, that's what Shake was pointing out. It's like, if we're all going to sit here, we all had to put up and shut our mouths when people would get to the point of saying, well, Chris Greer believes in Tua, so he's QB1, shut the fuck up. But we couldn't do that about the offensive line like you were trying to do. You're like, yo, Chris Greer's fine with it. Shut the fuck up and let's see what happens.
Hey, Chris Greer, goddammit, you know what I'm saying? Like, he drafted this dude from I never heard of college. Hey, Chris Greer drafted this dude, man. What the fuck am I? Shit, he must get played.
Hey, we were only ever pointing out the double standard of trusting Chris Greer on Tua, but not the O-line. That was a clear double standard.
Yeah, you got to do it for what's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's
I
what I
remember
like
you
to say.
guys asked me about A-Chan. I said, man, I don't know. I don't watch college football. I don't know. I have no opinion. Ask me about A-Chan now.
Well, it's enough for sample size to formulate a good judgment on evaluate
Hey,
him at this
I
point.
trust the judgment. I trust the judgment. I remember, you don't remember this, Crypto. You and Shake, y'all too young to remember this. But Color Mike, I remember 3 straight years we drafted Eric Kumaro, Rick Graff, and John Bozer. 3 years in a row.
Actually,
3 years in a row.
Yeah, I remember that.
Crypto is 1 year older than Color. I'm just 1 year younger than Color, so we're about the same age.
Yeah, I remember those.
You sound old as hell.
Yeah, I'm 45.
Hey, Big Nick.
Yeah, I'm a year and a half away from 50.
So back in the early 90s, when we were on a run with Marino, right, we were a little unsure of how real a team we were, and we were set to play the Redskins, right? And I was all worried about it all week and all that. We ended up defeating the Redskins 45-24. So I made my score prediction this week 45 for the Dolphins, and we hit it, bro. Exactly.
Damn. I don't even remember that game.
I don't even know we had.
I think Mark Rippon was still there. Mark Rippon was still their quarterback, bro.
Hey, can you imagine?
That's definitely 30 years. Mark Rippon was a Redskin quarterback.
And we put up 45 points on them, exactly what we did yesterday.
If the social media was big back in the early 90s, early 2000s like it is now, I don't think the Miami Dolphins would have a fan base with some of the first round picks they picked.
No, they probably wouldn't.
What was the running back name?
What's going on, Joe?
The little running back name we got. Then we got a
what's going
cornerback.
on, Joe?
Then we got a cornerback.
The running back. You talking about Mark Higgs?
No. Was it Avery? John Avery, wasn't it?
Yeah, John Avery. Yeah.
John Avery.
Drafted him in the first round. Then we drafted the DB in the first round, a little small ass defensive back. He couldn't play. Man, we made some bad choices back on the Dave Wanstead and Jimmy Johnson, man.
Yeah,
mostly on Dave Wanstead.
Yeah, because Jimmy Johnson picked. He
played.
Jimmy Johnson picked the last 2 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I mean, let's keep it 100.
That's the saving grace for him.
Neither one of those Hall of Famers was in the first round. He had somebody before them, and nobody can name who it was.
Right.
And think about it. The last 2. And think about this. The last 2 Hall of Famers Jimmy Johnson picked weren't in the first round. One was in the 3rd, and the other was in the 5th.
Yeah, one was in the 3rd, the other was in the 5th, right? But they was first rounders, and both of those they was picked in successive years, and there was first rounders in each one of those years. And I think John Avery was one of them.
Right. Yeah, it was crazy getting Avery. Yeah, they would have ran him up out of there. They would have ran him out of there on those first 2 drafts.
Actually, they would have ran him out of there when he didn't pick Randy Moss in the first round.
I was just going to say that they would have ran him out of there when they found out that the reason they didn't pick Randy Moss was because Jimmy Johnson had his eye on this 2nd round receiver that he said can be just as good as Randy Moss, and his name was Larry Shannon, and I don't think he ever played a down in the NFL.
Pretty much. Yeah. Larry Shannon. Yeah, you're right. He probably didn't play it down. I don't remember that name. Not quite the household name. Yeah, he definitely wasn't a household name.
But could you guys imagine what Lawrence Phillips, I ain't talking about off the field shit. Can you imagine what he'll be in today's NFL as a running back? Lawrence Phillips, that size and that speed, oh my God.
Another running back who had potential, but he couldn't stay out of trouble with Cecil Collins.
Yeah,
that's another one. Yeah, Cecil Collins.
Cecil.
That was a Notre Dame, right? Not Notre Dame. Nebraska. That one.
No, that was Lawrence Phillips went to Nebraska. Cecil Collins, I think, went to like Wisconsin or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I thought there was one guy from Nebraska.
But
They had a
Keisha
hell of a
Collins,
running game.
Jimmy Johnson had two favorite players as a head coach of the Miami Dolphins. One of them I went to school with. I knew personally. He's no longer with us. His number was 38, Calvin Jackson. Calvin Jackson. That was a Jimmy guy. Jimmy signed him undrafted and said, "You my guy. As long as I'm here, you gonna be here." And he stayed with the Dolphins the whole time Jimmy was there and after. And the other guy was Keisha Collins. That was his guy.
Yeah, Jimmy and that one side thing, man. They always grab great defensive players for the most part. Their offensive side, they bombed. They didn't do what they did in Dallas. So only if they can repeat the offensive line they had in Dallas, Ricky Williams probably would have won MVP that year.
Now, Calvin Jackson was a good friend of mine, and I used to always tell him, "Man, tell the truth, you have nightmares about being coach, don't you?" Because being coach used to do that man so dirty.
Being coach, yeah, for the Patriots.
Yeah, that's when they moved Calvin to safety. They moved him to free safety. I don't think it was a free safety, but they moved him. And then he was like, Calvin was only like 5'10", 5'11", and Ben when the coach was like 6'6", solid muscle.
Right. Yeah, it does.
And he used to dog Calvin, man. I used to feel sorry for Calvin.
Right. Yeah, Jimmy, man. He was the perfect balance between Shula and freaking Saban.
No. Your boy is the best.
The thing is, they ruined our franchise for 20 years.
Yeah, your boy is the best coach we've had since Shula. Coach McDaniel is the best coach we've had since Don Shula.
I don't know. That's debatable, but you know, the books.
No,
I'd say the jury's still
when
out.
he gets us a playoff win, then I'll say he's the best. Right now, Shula's Jimmy Johnson's the best in Shula, but listen.
Dan Marino won.
If he gets us a playoff win,
right? Then you can
concede.
put him in there. Yeah.
He won those playoff games in spite of Jimmy Johnson. Dan Marino won that playoff game in spite of Jimmy Johnson.
He never won a playoff game with Jimmy Johnson.
You mean Jay Fiedler? Because that's who was the quarterback.
Oh, that's right. Jimmy never won the playoff game.
Right.
Jimmy never won the playoff game. So, so if Jimmy never won the playoff game, then I put Mac ahead of him.
So that means then you got to put Dave Wannstedt because he won the playoff game.
Hell no, Crypto.
That's who you got to give him credit for that. Jay Fiedler was the quarterback.
Dave Wannstedt decided he didn't need a backup running back and decided to run a man 800 times over 2 years, Crypto.
But that's what the fan base was crying for.
Man, don't get that man a backup running back, man. God damn, what are you doing, Dave?
But that was his philosophy in Dallas. Didn't Emmett run it like 500 times a season?
Emmett had a backup. And Emmett didn't have to run that many times. He had the best offensive line in NFL history.
Yeah, he just wasn't touched. He had the cleanest jersey in NFL history, too. I don't think he've ever used a laundromat.
Hey, Crypto, you ready to shut this down?
Oh yeah. We can.
Real quick. Everybody want to blame Ricky want to smoke weed as the reason why he quit. But Ricky was telling people, this man ran me 800 times in 2 years.
I don't blame him.
Man. Right. Was he Australia?
No, he's back over here. Ricky back over here. Man, Ricky is thriving. Ricky got a cannabis company. I think he does a podcast. He's doing way more interviews than you used to see. He just got his finding. Ricky is thriving.
He does charts too.
Yeah.
Oh, he does
those astrology charts, whatever it is.
Put it this way. Ricky is living a life financially wise as if he never had to give back that money to the NFL.
He's living his best life right now, man.
Yeah, he got money. He's doing well. I'm telling you, Ricky is thriving. That's what people don't understand. Like once you are famous, it's hard not to continue to make money once you reach that level of fame. I don't care whatever happened in the past. Once you reach a certain level of fame, you got to rape somebody or kill somebody for you not to be able to use that fame later on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it couldn't be.
So
yeah,
all right, man.
But yeah, you want to yeah. You had a final thought, Big Nick?
Go, Big Nick.
Hey man, I'm just game by game. I know I said at the beginning of the season, Miami Dolphins will be the representative, but I had to temper myself a little bit and just game by game, and I'm happy with the product on the field. I'm glad that we're starting to put it together. These next two games are going to be very pivotal because we haven't been 11-3 since probably 1986, probably the last time we were
2001, I think 2001.
2000. Yeah, the 2021 season. Yeah. I mean 2001 season.
No, I mean 11.
Having 11 after the first. 11. Having 11 out of the first 14. Yeah, it had to be like the 90s or 80s. Yep.
Probably
uncharted waters at that point.
Because you have to go back to the last time we finished 12-4, right? And that's been. I think that was in the 80s the last time. So. What I continue to say is, I want to win a Super Bowl. That'll be a dream come true. But to me, guys, honestly, since 1982, watching this team actually become my team that I watch built brick by brick. I know every player. I know their position. I know that is special to me. And then to watch it be one of the best teams in the NFL, I will always cherish that about my Miami Dolphins. Win, lose, or draw, is that I'm there for the whole journey. So I can't ask for anything better than what I'm going through right now, except the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Uncharted waters. Get these next two. We'll be in uncharted waters for a while.
And by the way, real quick, Crypto. So if the Bengals win, right? Me and you are tied right now at 7-5. Cap is 6-6. So if Bengals win, it's a 3-way tie. If Jaguars win, we beat El Cap 8-5.
Okay. So
I didn't cut into the lead this week.
3-way tie.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, Crypto, the Bengals beat everything in the NFC South and anything in the NFC West except San Francisco.
I will give you Cleveland beating San Francisco because they already did. That's what I'm willing to give you.
All right, so fins up, man.
Fins up, guys.
All right.
Hey, so go ahead. I'll let you close off. I got my finger on the trigger, so just let me know.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So go ahead so we can sign off.
Les Color wanted to say something real quick, but we appreciate everybody coming through. And this episode, this edition of the Dolphins trying to stay in the driver's seat, pending tonight's outcome. We're either in the driver's seat or we're riding shotgun to the Jaguars. Either outcome is imminent tonight after the next 3.5 quarters. Right now, the Jags are up 7-0. And
either way, the playoffs are running to Florida, no matter what.
Right, no matter what. Yeah, that's right. That's another good way to look at it. Even if the Jags are number one, the playoffs are still running through the state of Florida because they'll be the number one seed. So right now we're in the catbird seat. That being said, we appreciate everybody. Fins up, everybody, and all the people that came in late, like Jermaine and Aquavision and Bill's Fake Crowd Noise and Villain. So we appreciate you guys stopping by. And peace out, everybody.